Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this, the 24th episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing Joseph Hendricks of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing Benjamin of Clan Arcavian.
almost broke him.
And Philip playing Jim Roberts of Clan Gangrel.
So, before we launch into the recap, I just want to say hello, Gilmore. Welcome to your first viewing. It's good to see more new people in the chat. And with that diversion, over to you for the recap.
Okay, so last episode, Benjamin filled in a very confused Edmund on all the things he's forgotten, like who his friends are and who make up the members of the coterie.
Moses is hungry and has a compulsion and is not in the mood to take anyone's shit. So this is a little bit of a pity because Alicia is hanging out with the coterie and she's taking none of his lip. Things get quickly tense. Words are exchanged. Katia saves the day with the power of diplomacy. Never underestimate that. And Alicia calls in her major boon.
Jim's neck update, better, but still broken.
So Benjamin realises that Abigail is suffocating, but his efforts to save her enrage Edmund, who demands that she suffer a similar fate to poor departed Greg. Benjamin tries to resist, but in the end leans into the horror, making incredible art at the expense of an innocent life.
Well, Jim, Katia, and Moses learn that Alicia's boon requires them to assist in the final death of Michael Chase and dispose of the evidence. Funny enough, they're all quite happy to help.
Definitely. Moses goes to see Constable Jacqueline and retrieves his rosary, and he has to safeguard, well, her sword, which is on an unassuming guitar case that might be carried around by the Nosferatu. Plucky Jake appears, pushes his luck, and leaves again.
Benjamin is sent on an errand to deliver a letter to a group of 4 Nosferatu and send them to meet Edmund.
Meanwhile, the coterie, minus Benjamin but plus Alicia, head to Kensington, where they begin preparations to invade Michael Chase's haven.
That's where we left off.
And that's where we left off. So with the party in 2 separate places, slightly different time frames, we are going to jump straight in with Benjamin, since he's slightly behind the others.
Oh, Rachel's not feeling well. Get well, Rachel.
Yes, get well soon.
well,
We
Rachel.
miss you.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Oh yeah, we were just, seeing whether or not any of you guys observed that. Yeah, you didn't, for shame. Take care, Rachel. See you soon.
Love you.
Right, Benjamin. In the aftermath of an extremely harrowing experience, you are left with a letter, sealed, and with the instruction to not open it. With the smell and taste of blood still upon you, and an unnatural shakingness which seems to claim you as you ascend the stairs. What do you want to do?
So I'm going to be doing what I've been told, which is going to deliver this letter, going to this place to deliver the letter to these 4 Nosferatu. Have I reflected at all on what I did last session at this point?
Yes.
So it's starting to hit me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll hold it together long enough to get out of the building.
Okay.
And maybe get to my car, but I'll be starting to shake more and more as I get closer to my car, and then when I get into my car, I think for a while Benjamin will just stare at his hands and then cover his face and weep.
Okay. It's an odd sensation. You've never purposely claimed a life before, particularly one that didn't need to be taken. And never in such an unnatural way. I mean, if feeding not exactly natural, but that's different. That's a necessity. It needs to happen for you to exist. Beast I am, that's the beast I become, the whole shebang. But this didn't need to happen. And what makes it 10 times worse is that, in a way, he was right. The resultant art was incredible. You could not argue with the results. Even now, you're struggling to remedy that in your mind, but it feels worse because of that. And you know that as much as a rival as she was, as much as a pain in the ass as she wasn't a bad person. At least not that you're aware of. You look down into the note, the first one, that gives the location. And it is an address based on... Do intelligence plus streetwise for me.
3 successes.
Okay. It is a series of quite rundown flats, about 30 minutes north of your domain.
Okay. So
That was the first address.
Yeah.
The one he pointed out to you, because there is a second one, is an address on the far northwest edge of the city.
And he wanted me to go to both.
No, the second one. There was another address on there, but he hasn't mentioned it.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just pointed to the second one.
So he's written 2 addresses, but told me just to go to the. Okay. And the first one is like quite close to our domain.
Yeah, there's no explanation given.
Nothing worrying there. So I'm gonna. So it's gonna be odd for Benjamin because in the one hand, he's feeling barely capable of anything at this point, but on the other, the instruction is going to be ringing in his mind. I would imagine from Edmund telling him he's got to do this thing. So I think after a while he will kind of clean his face, and very kind of slowly and awkwardly kind of pull out and start heading to this address.
Okay. To the second one.
Yeah, the one he told me to go to.
Okay. It's a very slow drive. Not only because you are being very careful in a city which is currently in disarray. 3 attacks that claim that many lives are going to disrupt city life. And you are experiencing firsthand just how severe the travel becomes at that point. Because people are too afraid of this, now to go down into... go down and use the tube or to go and use public transport. They're cleaving to their cars and they're willing to take those longer journeys, or they're going by foot. But even with the traffic not that bad, you would still be taking a while because your mind is elsewhere. And there are multiple times where you have to slow down and even stop entirely just to compose yourself so you can keep going. But after about an hour, you're managing to approach the area in London where you need to go in order to approach this address.
I'm not intending to park outside. I'm going to park a few streets away.
Okay. So you pull up in what looks to be quite a quiet street. There's not that many people around here. Outside of London, most of the people at this point are either in London or they're asleep. They're not, most people that live this area are here because they commute back and forth. And it is very quiet. You wouldn't argue that it's rural, but it certainly feels less claustrophobic than city life does. And as you're looking at all the streets, you can tell which direction you need to go based upon the address that's written and the way that the numbers are laid out. It's not far away.
I think when I was giving the instructions, obviously I've got to give them a letter. Do I also have to give them the note with the other address on, right, as well? No?
He didn't say.
He didn't say. It was just the letter, wasn't it?
Just the letter.
Okay. So I could potentially keep the bit of paper that has the other address. I think what I'm going to do, not really thinking this through, is maybe just make a mark on my map where this second address is.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put the map away, blah, 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 and I will make I'll make sure my phone is on silent, and I will make my way to the address I was given and told to go to.
What's your avenue of approach? You just heading there? Are you
I'm
going
just
to...
going to go pretty much up to the door. Yeah. I should say he's girding himself for scary things to appear out of nowhere, because that seems to be what Nosferatu do.
Okay. It's true though.
It's true, and Plucky
Stereotyping is
Jake
wrong.
was a formative experience for
Come on.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Stereotyping is wrong.
So,
Don't do it.
you don't have See the Unseen, do you?
I don't.
No. Okay. You begin making your approach towards this building, and it is. You've seen a lot of clusters of flats before. This is very run down. There's no pretense about it. This is the kind of place that you'd imagine in the stereotypical visiting a dangerous part of town. If you were to go to that stereotype,
Yeah.
this
Okay.
fits it. And as you're kind of observing it, there are no lights on that you can see in this building. There are people there, clearly, because there are cars parked. There are curtains drawn where there wouldn't need to be. But there is no lights on. There's no sounds of movement that you can hear. Do you have Auspex on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't hear movement from within. But you check the paper again. This is the right address.
So, am I at the front door to the flat, or is there, is it a house? Is it what is it?
It's one of the tall building blocks that has multiple flats in.
Okay. So, is it like a door with buzzer or something, or is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll buzz the relevant flat.
Okay. You press in on the button. There's no result. There's no sound.
Oh, like the buzzer just doesn't work.
You can't hear anything.
Okay. I'll wait a few moments and I'll try it again. Do these flats, this particular block of flats, does it actually look like it's lived in and used?
Yeah.
Okay. Just try the door and see if it actually is locked. It is locked. How do I have a kind of like? Do I think they're going to be multiple floors up? This particular is not a ground floor flat.
No, it's not a ground floor flat. It looks to be about halfway up the building, based upon the numbered display.
It's quite late, isn't it?
Yeah, at this point, you're looking at about 23:30.
I don't know if Benjamin's in a state to deal with clever things at the moment. Okay, he'll go round the back of the flats to see if there's like another entrance or another way in.
Okay. So you make a slow circle around the other side of the building, and there looks to be quite a low wall which circles the outer edge. And from what you can hear, and the sound that you can hear rats scurrying about and the ripping of plastic, it suggests that it's the bin area on the opposite side.
Okay.
And as you continue your circle around, the low wall is punctuated by a wooden gate that is used to access the back and forth.
See if it's locked.
You can hear the rattling of a chain on the other side.
Okay. How easy is it to climb over the wall or the gate?
Oh, getting over the wall is easy. Getting over the wall subtly is probably the difficult part.
Yeah.
Although most people in this building, there is no lights on. But in the adjacent buildings, you don't know whether or not anyone's awake. There's no immediate, like, windows with lights coming out that suggest that people are going to be looking, but you never know.
And Edmund's instruction was just to go and have a look, wasn't it?
To give them the note.
Yeah, but he said they might not be there. And that as long as I went and looked. So I think that probably doesn't quite count as enough of having had a look yet for him. So I'll have a look using my heightened senses just to kind of at some of the windows to just check there's no one like at curtains or, watching this area. And if it looks like the coast is clear and I can't hear anyone around.
Okay. Wits plus awareness plus Auspex.
Oh, okay, yeah. Crit win, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
You do see. You see one of the
Have a crit.
curtains about halfway up, roughly in the area where you think that this apartment should be, flutter, almost as though it's just been knocked. But it doesn't open, but it's just.
So I think this could actually be the flat where I'm looking for these people. Oh, okay. I'm going to try and wave in the direction of that flat.
Okay.
If I think someone might be watching from that window. And then I might even beckon for them to come down. And then I'll wait for a bit.
You wait for quite a while around the back, and you don't see anything. There's no sounds, that you don't hear the opening of a door. But with that result, you do hear a coming from the front of the building.
Oh, like someone's leaving through the front exit.
Sounds more like a spark of something.
I might head around to the front.
Okay. Doesn't look to be anything out of place.
But I definitely heard something.
Yeah. Definitely heard something.
I'll go. I won't say very loudly. Like I'm not trying to shout out or anything, but I will say quietly. I'll say hello. I'm here to make a delivery. If you're here and watching, could you give me a sign, please?
You look at the door; it's very slight.
Like something has come through. Oh, the door's unlocked. Okay, I'll go and approach the door.
With a very agonizingly high-pitched whinge of hinges which are desperately in need of WD-40.
Yeah.
The door kind of swings towards you as you pull it open. You step into a building which smells extremely mouldy.
Ugh.
It smells like rotten wood. And wits plus perception. No, wits plus awareness plus Auspex if you still have it up.
Yeah, I think I probably do at this point. Wow, that's terrible. 2 successes.
There's a multitude of really terrible smells in this building.
Okay.
Not terrible in the sense that they are kind of all rancid, but they have a constant suggestion of being lived in. And given the squalor of this place, and given how the other sense that you've picked up on the fact that the door doesn't work, the fact that there's rats going around, that in itself makes this worse because people are residing in this. And you carry yourself forward towards the end, and there is a stairway going up.
I'll make my way towards the address of the flat that I was told to go to.
Okay. So you begin going up and down the stairs. You still can't hear any movement coming from up above or from down below. And then when you get to the second floor, not the floor you're due to stop on, you see one of the doors shut just as you round the corner.
Okay. Well, I'll just carry on to the address.
Okay. Begin getting up the stairs. And then you hear, as you reach that stairs, from the door downstairs.
Like it's opened again.
Like it's shut.
Okay.
And then finally you arrive on the floor you're supposed to be on. And there are 4 separate doors. The one on the final end is the one that you need to go to. The one with the number on it that's slightly hanging out of place.
Okay. I'll approach the door and I'll knock. Probably a bit more timidly.
It's not the door in front of you, but the door behind you.
I'll turn to look.
Very dark hallway leading into the flat. Can't see anyone on the other side of the door.
I will question my life choices that brought me to this point.
There's a lot of them.
And I will approach the door that's opened.
Okay. You step into a long corridor which branches off into different rooms. There is a kitchen which is bare. in that the door to the fridge is hanging open, and whilst it smells musky, I suppose, and there is some old food in there that is mouldy, there's no heat coming out of it, there's no electricity. Some of the cabinet doors are open, but there's nothing inside them. And on the table, there looks to be cutlery sets which have been laid out, new, which is striking contrast. And then as you look down towards the living room, there is a coffee table next to several large sofas which circle it.
Okay.
And there is what looks to be the remains of scraps of paper which have been torn up as though anything of credence is basically taken. And there is a TV set which looks to have static on.
So, yeah.
But it's positioned towards the wall, so the light doesn't reach the hallway.
Okay. I'll stop in the front room, I guess, and say, hello? Is that the door shutting behind me?
Unlocking.
I'm here to deliver a message to you. I don't suppose someone could make themselves... I want to make sure I'm giving the message to the right person.
You can hear a squeaking, and then a rustling of the papers on top of the table as a rat darts out. And as it starts going between your legs and vanishing off, before you can turn and have a look, you hear... And then when you complete your turn, the rat's dead on the floor between you and the door. You're a long way from home.
Yes. Can I see the source of the voice, or is it...
No, sounds like it's coming from the kitchen.
Yes, that's true. I was sent here to give you a message. I just want to be sure that I found the right person. I think I have.
Depends on who you're looking for.
Well, I'm looking for 4 people actually. But I think any one of them will do in terms of delivering the message. I was told to come here and give you a letter and an instruction.
You look stressed.
I am stressed.
Sit down.
All right. I'll go and sit down.
On which sofa? There's 4.
If there are any that look like they're occupied by invisible people with like deep...
Kind of hard to tell. I mean, none of them look like pristine.
No, but...
All of them look like someone extremely heavy has sat on every branch of them at some point in their lives.
I guess the one nearest the door.
Okay, so the one with the back to the door.
Actually, I'm doomed either way. I'll sit on the one that's facing the door.
Okay, so you walk around the table and you sit yourself. There is a wall directly behind you. The static, buzzing TV off towards your left, again still positioned towards the wall. And then you hear a crumpling next to you, and as you turn and look, there is positioned right on the edge of the seat, nestled and with his legs up on the very edge of the seat, just staring at you, a Nosferatu, and you can tell that just because of how gut-wrenchingly hideous this thing is, covered in fur, and it just stares at you, eyes gleaming in the dark, and with long fingers it reaches out and then plucks at your clothes and just lifts it and then releases and then just stays squatted watching you.
Say, hello.
What's the message?
Well, I had to find Stoffman.
You found him.
Oh, good.
And you can hear footsteps coming from the kitchen. And this Nosferatu that steps out of the kitchen, you immediately recognise as being in the forefront of a certain picture that was taken down in tunnels.
Yeah.
This hideous-looking, quite intimidating-looking Nosferatu moves with a surety, which immediately makes clear who's in charge of this cluster of them. And although you can still hear movements, not rat-like movements, but other movements which have suddenly become purposefully made.
Okay.
In terms of audio that are echoing around this
Okay.
place, making it sound like there are people all over this building moving, not just in this room, but beyond it.
Okay.
That all of a sudden kick in, as though a muted sound has just been lifted.
Okay.
A muted cloak
Okay.
has just been lifted. And it's hard for you to pinpoint where anyone is. The only two people you can see is the Nosferatu at your side,
Yeah.
and the one that's approaching you. And then he sits down on the coffee desk. He doesn't bother moving anything.
No.
Just sits among it. And then just leans in very close to you. I know you.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
I suppose I should give the letter to you?
That'd be a good start. Takes it between two very sharp fingers. Then after I've read this, we're going to have a very intimate discussion.
Right.
He opens the paper. And then flashes directly towards you with a hand about your neck and pins you towards the sofa. Where did you get this?
Edmund gave it to me.
Who the fuck is Edmund?
He told me to come and find you and to tell you to meet him. And he said that I should bear with you, that you might be a little like this, perhaps, but that would be all right. And
He releases your neck and then turns his back to you and just begins reading the note again. Begins flicking the paper over, observing every inch of it. He lifts it and he sniffs it. He even goes so far as to lick part of the paper. And then he turns back to you with a smile. What's your name?
Benjamin.
Full name,
Green.
Knight.
Benjamin Green. My name's Benjamin Green.
Where's the other of my get that travels with you?
I don't know. I think he's out in the city somewhere. I've been with Edmund, and I haven't actually seen or spoken to him since everything blew up.
He returns to looking at the paper again. It seems like just checking through this page once is not enough. He's constantly going over it. And you can tell that he's observing the handwriting, he's looking at the wording, he's looking at everything. Which is not just a convenient excuse for the ST looking for his notes. Rigid, keep him company. And he gets up, uncoils himself, and he moves towards the other room, the room you didn't look into.
Yeah.
and the door opens before he even reaches it, and then he steps inside. And then the moment that he leaves, you feel another shifting of the seat as the hairy Nosferatu, who has just been called Rigid, shifts onto the seat even closer to you. And he is now maybe 2 inches away from your face, and he is just staring at you. He says nothing. Meanwhile, slightly in advance of where we currently are in the timeline, you have gone and began trying to check into the connection, the network, as it were, in a domain and a haven which is quite clearly beyond what you've currently witnessed. Michael Chase, for whatever age he is, and he is clearly old, is more acquainted with technology than most elders are. That's not to say, by any means, any of the stuff you're looking at is modern or high-tech, but it's unexpected. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm just waiting for them.
Okay. It won't take you guys too long to go and get him. Katia's with you, Alicia's with you. Katia is very sullen in her silence, and has been pretty much for the start of the night, with, I mean, you guys going off and hunting outside of your domain, that working in a strange, odd twist of fate, and everything else. It's not turning out well so far. In a weird way it is, if that makes sense. You're doing really daft, stupid things, but it's going well, and you get the feeling that she's waiting for the other boot to drop. So she doesn't say anything to you as she travels. Alicia, however, is in a brighter mood. And you know that rarely ends well. But before too long, you end up where you've been directed to go. What's the plan?
You got a bone you want to pick on Michael?
I think the extent of my boon is to make sure there's no trace of your passing, Alicia.
That's right.
Well, first things first. You said you wanted to go through the front door. What's your approach?
I just said that I can. That doesn't necessarily mean I have to.
You're gonna try and hack into the system, security system.
Okay.
It looks tight.
That's not surprising.
What if it's too tight?
Then we look for a different method of going in. We draw him out. I don't know. We'll think of it.
Okay, cool.
Given everything going on, I would rather not delay this any longer than absolutely necessary.
Understood. Then, time for me to go to the central. And back again to the source.
Do you have any idea of who he has around him?
He does have a few individuals, a few kind that he keeps in close proximity. Whether or not they're there, I don't know.
General capabilities?
Well, I think 1 or 2 of them are Gould. To be honest, I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants on this, and this is kind of the way I like it, Jim.
I'm aware.
Well, you better follow him in case he fucks off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay and get acquainted with Katia.
Alright. Thought of.
So you burrow down into the sewers, and you can hear in the distance the movements through the sewers of Moses as he retreats back towards where he'd gone. And it doesn't take you too long to track him down.
He's gonna go through the central, look the wiring, look what could potentially be any connections, like for internet. I get my mini modem, like the warrior modem and all of that. But I'm also trying to tap into the CCTV system.
Okay. I will say that given everything down there that you need to sort through, it will be resolve plus technology.
I have
Do you have technology?
I have a little bit of technology.
You can give him help if you want.
I'll give him help.
Okay.
So you get +1 for Jim?
Do we get my networks? And I
I'll
rouse.
say yeah, sure.
And I rouse. Oh, wait. That's one. And I pray. And I spend willpower. Oh, wait. Did I need to do it with a minus of dice?
Yes.
Yes, I had a 3 die penalty. Oh, what a shame. I have to re-roll. I only had 1 success either way.
Yeah, 2.
Sorry, I had 2? Oh, I had 2 successes.
That's-
Yeah, but I'm rolling now considerably less dice.
Because that's
It's like it almost half my pool.
Ooh, nice.
3 successes.
Okay.
As good as it's gonna get.
It takes you a while to try and discover where this is going, just purely because of the vastness of this network of cables and a host of other things going to a load of different types of penthouses. And if you get the wrong one, you know, this is not something you want to fuck up on. So you take your time getting it. And by the time you finally manage to locate the cables you need to go to, after your 4th double check, you're pretty certain you've located the one that goes there.
Okay. So I'm just gonna try and tap into that feeds,
Okay.
into those feeds. But first I want to list them. So I know which ones is which.
Okay.
And I know this might take a while, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask my presence already inside the system. So as I look as a part of the autonomous system, not part of an outside like an intrusion or whatever.
Okay. In this case, it will be wits plus technology.
Okay. Thus my specialty applies?
For networks, no.
Okay.
I'm guessing I can't help him with this.
Do
one.
I have a penalty to mask my presence?
Technically, yes, because it's still -3. Because you've
Does
not done
he
anything.
get a gym assist?
If he's just, well, no. If you're trying to mask your, it's more of a one-person
Yeah,
job. If you're trying to mask
okay.
your thing, unless he's there tapping keys for you around you, kind of close style.
It's just me running code.
Ooh.
You know what? Can I burn and run my subroutine, the one I use for the Warrens? Electronic countermeasure? That beautiful code.
Do you have it on you?
It's on the laptop. It's part of the. I don't want to have that successes. Does it help?
What are you aiming to use it to do? Just to wipe the.
Let's call it obfuscate. Right now, it's like I'm gonna be acting, and this is gonna make it like a little black hole. So unless someone is specifically looking in that direction, it's not gonna show any activity. And what I'm gonna be doing is looking.
Okay, I'll give you a +2.
So I will drop it because that's just electronic confirmation. I will drop it when I start acting upon things. If I want to shut down something, it'll drop. But right now, I want to take my time to how do you take a look, the lay of the land, and see how it is. I want to take my time, but I want to do it without being detected. And that is 3 successes. Oh, we don't recover willpower. We have not recovered willpower.
Yeah, sure. I'll let you recover willpower. You weren't doing anything immediately stressful before the scene started.
No.
And same for you, Ben. You'd recover
Now
as well.
I
Especially since you got your remorse kicking in.
Yeah.
I think that would give you a sudden boost of sheer.
Oh yeah. Let me know when my remorse kicks in.
Well, the way I've been doing it, just to clarify, because the way I normally do it, you guys don't have to do it identically this way because no one feels remorse the same way. Mm-hmm. But the way I do it is the moment that you get stains, you realize that something you've done is wrong. Because obviously as you start taking more and more stains, as soon as you max it out, you can't voluntarily do anything wrong anymore. So you recognize what you're doing is wrong. Whether or not your character can then justify it to himself, or if he can't, is the role. And if they can justify it to themselves, then they find it easier and easier to justify deplorable acts.
Yeah.
If they cannot justify it to themselves, their humanity remains intact because they cannot justify what they did. There's no excuse for it, and they maintain that level of connection.
Yeah.
So,
I think
that's how
my
I've-
remorse will kick in.
Yeah.
After my compulsion is gone and I'm
Yeah.
done with this.
I mean, how you want to do it?
when it winds down.
Yeah, mechanically it will remain the same. How
Yeah.
you guys want to role play it is entirely up to you and what's befitting your characters. But that's just the guidelines that I follow for myself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, no, it's I get it.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Quick note: we passed our remorse checks.
yes, because that wasn't mentioned. It was off camera when it happened. Unfortunately. Yes, they both passed, guys. So
It was
fear not.
scary, so we didn't lose humanity.
Mm.
So yeah, now that I have masked my presence, then I do that. I list them. I see if there's any CCTV, and I try to pin them like in a specific order, or try to map them to see where they are.
Where they are in the flat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And getting there, like in the building, if I see any route or whatever, what I'm gonna try and do is go it's like, okay, this is somewhat the layout, and I'm just gonna help myself with like pen and paper. It's not like I have like a super 3D computer,
Yeah,
nothing.
so you're going to piggyback onto the system to look through the cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now, I'm not gonna move them, touch them, nothing. I want to look and go like, hey, this is a hallway, and this is the main hall, and this is okay. So this camera, so the route should be this, and
I mean,
then
based upon
try
what
to-
you managed to see, the cameras themselves, without moving them, you're not going to get a full lay of the land.
of course.
And you're not certain whether or not for a Toreador to remain oblivious of that is going to be a worthwhile threat. Particularly someone that, as a harpy, is used to noting small details. But as you're looking through the cameras, you note that the way that the flat sets up, you have the opening door which opens out onto a vast open floor plan flat, which has a attached kitchen with a counter which basically separates it from the rest. You have a large open dining area with full-length windows that look out. And then
Balcony.
it looks to be a balcony. And then it pans off and around into what you can't quite see, but you know that there's another room. But what you also take immediate note of is that there is movement from inside the flat, but it's not Michael Chase. You can't see who. You can just see the tail end of people's feet moving in and out of frame.
Okay. And how about around the building? Did I find? I don't need to look through those. I don't know. Do I find video feeds coming from other areas around and outside the building? Any other video feeds? Maybe from the police, CCTV system, whatever.
Not on the role where you were trying to access his. You could try with a different role, but it's
Okay.
a different system.
Yes, because I want to. My idea is try to figure out a way in that leaves no trace, or that can be erased, and then once in, they will like giving them enough knowledge of where to go
Yeah.
and what's the situation inside, and also. I am crossing my fingers, hoping that no one will be noticing me checking on the system while they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm using your previous success as the difficulty for any such checks.
Okay.
What are you doing at the moment, Jim? Well, Moses is, what's the word? Had tunnel vision towards this terminal, noticing nothing else is working, fingers flashing across his keyboard. What are you doing?
Can I see that he's been pulling up the cameras?
Yeah, you'd be able to see it on the screen because
Uh,
he's
I-
glimpsing at them as he's checking them.
And then I'm trying to get a layout for the place, trying to see how many people are in there.
I mean, you managed to see the same things that Moses. You managed to see some people's feet. You do not believe that they're Michael Chase. They look like they are wearing some type of what looks. It's hard to tell from the fabric, and you don't really know fashion at all. It goes straight over your head, but these look to be quite sharp apparel. Certainly the shoes are expensive, you know that much. But you can't make out anything else. And based upon the way that he's flicking through them quickly, trying to get a lay of the land, whilst not just staying on the system for ages, it's difficult for you to map it in your head without someone walking you through it.
Kind of getting an idea of just how many people there might be there.
Not on the camera feed that he's seen. You can sit and watch for a while longer, but it does mean that you have to linger on the system for a while longer.
Actually, I'm trying to get an idea of the lay of the land outside, so I can give them an entry point, an exit point, and the situation inside.
So, based upon what you can see, oh no, you still need to do your check first.
Yeah, it'll be
This will be intelligence plus technology.
okay with the penalty.
With the no, not with the penalty. Sorry, because this is a different system.
Okay. Oh, but then I get to do my networks.
Yes.
Nice. Three successes.
Okay. Yeah, it's enough. It's enough for you to get onto the system. Whether or not it's gonna notice by whoever's on the other end of the system, you can't tell. But it gets you into the system, and based upon where the cameras are looking, you can tell that a lot of Michael Chase's haven is covered in some angle, whether or not it's by CCTV that you're currently piggybacking on, or by cars that are positioned outside of it. The more you look, the more you notice that this is quite a significant security measure, and one that's not immediately obvious. The cameras themselves, you knew.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, but the fact that they are given, it's like
There are quite a few people, but based upon the fact that you can see a lot of the people in the cars like eating, you know that they're not kindred, or if they are kindred, they're the kind that can eat, which is, rare as fuck. So you get a rough lay of the land, and all that you can really deduce from what you're seeing, as quickly as you're seeing it, is that the balcony is probably the only surefire way going in.
Yeah.
But you have no idea whether or not that balcony is viewable by whoever's in the flat. A lot of this is kind of, you're getting a rough idea, but you're not getting a perfectly
what
clear
story
one.
is the flat?
The flat is on the 3rd floor.
The flat's on the 3rd floor. How tall is the building?
5.
How many buildings does it have around it?
2.
Is any of those buildings taller?
No.
Is any of the buildings the same height?
Not as his. Well, one comes to about the rough size of his floor. The other one stretched further.
Okay.
Don't go further. Sorry, his one goes further.
Yeah, because
So they're slightly shorter buildings, and his comes up.
Okay, so this is the slightly taller.
Yeah, this is a penthouse series of flats. This is
Okay.
It doesn't look good to have taller buildings around one and make it seem like it's smaller than it is. So you can have a think, and you can have a think. Unless there's anything you want to do quickly before I cut back to Benjamin.
Yeah, just as kind of seeing that he's focused on that, don't go towards where Alicia and Katia are.
Okay, well, we'll do this quickly before we cut back to Benjamin. So you crawl out the sewers. It's not that foul smelling around here, and it's quite odd to be in a sewer tunnel which doesn't smell rank in London. But you manage to crawl back out and you head back over towards where they are. And Katia is being spoken to by Alicia. She's not really saying that much herself, but Alicia is talking to her, and she stops the moment that you come into view, and then just turns and observes you. How's it going, Jim?
Moses is in the system. As with his skills, he's getting a decent lay of the land. Try to have a look at who's in there. Can't gauge how many in there. I haven't seen Chase.
That's part of the fun, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll muscle through. How's his attitude going?
He's currently focused, which...
Well, that's good, I suppose. Why do you look so sullen, Jim? Wasn't this the kind of shit that you were missing when I wasn't in your life? A chuckle's not an answer, Jim.
No, I preferred taking that big thing down. That was more fun than something smaller, our size.
Well, I can assure you that Michael Chase is just as fun.
This will be a first, so...
And he's injured, which makes this achievable. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not an idiot, Jim. I know this is risky. But we're not going to get another chance at which we know he's going to be injured. And I am sick to death of this fucking city and being on a leash.
He has you on the leash?
He thinks he does.
How the hell does anyone think they have you on a leash?
Sometimes I like a leash, Jim. And she turns around and starts talking to Katia again. And we'll cut back to Benjamin. He is still uncomfortably close to you. Still looking at you on the side of the face. Taking in your profile. And you can smell him. He doesn't... It's weird. He doesn't smell wrong. So much as he smells... blank. There is no discernible scent about him, and it's like the ticking of a clock. When it's suddenly not ticking anymore, you suddenly pick up on its absence. While this room does not smell right, it smells, rancid. He does not smell like anything, and that is even more off-putting, especially since your senses are currently up, and you can. It's like having a sensory blank to your left, especially since you're not willing to look at him. And that lack of smell has a lack of taste. And that, as your most potent sensory range now that you are a kindred, is even more alarming. But you can hear sounds going off into the room forward and to the left. Whispered conversations. Do you want to try and listen in, or are you just going to wait?
I think I would like to half-heartedly try and listen in. I'm not going to be like...
Okay.
But
so you're trying to mask that you're listening?
Yeah, so I'm basically not... I'm not trying really hard to listen in, but equally, if some of those noises are picked up, if I can make out what they're saying, great. But I don't want to upset this guy. Benjamin is more concerned with not annoying the scary Nosferatu sitting next to him than he is about hearing what they're talking about.
Okay.
But he would like to know what they're talking about, because they might be saying how many pieces they're going to cut him into when they come back. So he'd like to...
Alright, so for the interest of this then, we'll say composure plus... It'll be performance.
Performance, you say?
You're not telling a lie, you're trying to make it seem like you're not...
Does my all specs count, or is it just to see whether I'm...
It's just to see whether or not... Because you can hear it if you stop and pay attention, but it's whether or not you can mask what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll just roll a small number of dice. Here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to rouse.
You're going to rouse?
Yeah, because...
Brave. Is this the first time you've roused? No.
No, I've roused for...
He has roused for painting.
I've roused for painting, man. Serious business. I think I might have roused to get Lucy once. Okay,
Yes.
Here we go. That's not bad, actually.
Just 2 successes, mate.
It's 2 successes.
2?
Yeah, I'll see if I go hungry. I don't.
You don't?
Nice.
It's because it was a just rouse.
As opposed to an unjust one.
An unjust rouse, yeah.
Like getting Lucy back.
Yeah, I don't know if I went hungry then either.
Don't you?
Can't remember.
Okay.
People in chat can go back and watch if they want, and then we'll have a deep philosophical discussion about it.
Okay. You heard him, chat. I apologise for this. Every time it comes back to this one thing I need to look up, somehow it vanishes in my book.
It obfuscates.
It obfuscates. Sorry, this never happens. Even though what I just said contradicts what I just said. Okay, you know what, forget it. You become still. And you do your best to make it seem like you're not moving because you're terrified. But in fact, you are trying to listen.
Yeah.
As equally as you are terrified. And the one thing that you do pick up is the name of Edmund.
Mm-hmm.
Your name.
Mm-hmm.
Moses' name.
Mm.
And the name or a name that you don't know.
Or
No, a name that you don't know.
Oh.
Called Vement.
Okay. I don't think I'll look any more or less
There is
afraid.
one more word that you pick up. You
Oh.
got 3, yeah?
Successes.
Oh, was it only 3?
It was 2.
Okay, then
But-
no, that's about the
That
extent.
wasn't a listen though. That was just a not.
Yeah, no, but this is like how well you're hiding it and listening.
Oh,
'Cause you're
okay.
going to hear it regardless, but
Yeah.
it's how much you can hear was.
Yeah.
And paying attention.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is about the extent of what you get.
Sure.
And then as you are trying again to tune into hearing it, you hear the of the door opening and
Okay.
immediately reset yourself. And the moment you kind of flinch, the one beside you reaches out and then runs a finger along the edge of your ear, right down to the edges of your neck, and then again plucks at your clothes and then drops it, and then plucks at your clothes and then drops it. And then through the door, you see the same kindred, Stoffman, step into the room. And directly behind him, a massive kindred that appears to be spiked in a way that is completely unnatural, even for a Nosferatu. And again, you recognize from the image.
So, Stoffman is the one with almost like the skull-like.
Yeah, the one that you handed your note to.
Yeah.
The one that was speaking to you when he said you found him.
Yeah. And now a massive one has come in.
Yeah, the one with the spikes.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, whether or not he is actually massive or his presence, one, is making him seem bigger, and two, your position on the couch where he's standing is.
I suspect Benjamin's imagination.
Yeah,
is going
I
to
mean, your imagination is probably running wild at this point. But they begin approaching, and the one with the jagged bone spikes coming out just slowly moves around the edge of the table and begins observing you from one side and then the other. He's almost like he's pacing in a circular motion. But the only one that comes up and kind of directs your attention is Stoffman, because whereas the other two are staring at you from different angles, he sits down in front of you with a note. Benjamin Green.
Yes.
I get the feeling we're going to become quite well acquainted.
Good.
How about as a sign of friendship? I ask you a small favor.
What did you have in mind?
The name of... the full name of... your, Edmund.
Oh, Edmund St. Clair.
Edmund St. Clair.
Yes.
You're looking a little fresh. You had a drink yet?
Oh, yes. No, I've already drunk tonight.
You look peckish to me.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
Get our friend a drink. And the hulking one turns and marches back into the room. There is a moment of movement, and then he comes back in with a chalice. Similar to the one you've seen from Edmund before, and sets it down. You look parched.
I've honestly seen a lot of blood tonight already. Really a lot. All everywhere, all over the place. I've drunk it. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, all right, fine. This isn't about me being parched, is it? You want me to drink this?
Call it a test of faith.
All right.
It's a bit of a Nosferatu voodoo magic where we test to see how much of a bullshitter you are.
Oh, all right. You just want me to drink it? That's all.
Do you know what? Let's make it more interesting. Give me your hand.
What? Why? What are you going to do? He didn't mention anything.
You're not sounding very faithful here, Benjamin Green.
I will. Pick up the chalice.
Give me your hand first. I got an idea in my head. It's difficult to shift.
Well, this goes both ways. I don't know.
Rigid. And the hairy Nosferatu snaps his hand shut on yours and begins dragging it over.
Okay.
Are you going to resist?
I'm assuming he feels. I mean,
You
no.
can resist if you want. This isn't like your compulsion to the blood bond.
I won't immediately resist, but I will be saying, "What do you do? What's going on? What?"
He flips your arm over,
Yeah.
and then he picks out a penknife and just flicks it, and then hands it over towards your other one.
Okay, I'll take the knife.
Bit of an incision.
You want me to cut myself?
No, I want you to pick your fucking teeth. Of course I want you to do that.
I will make an incision. I think.
Holds the chalice underneath. Well, fucking bleed.
I'll remember that I don't bleed, and then I'll concentrate until a bit of blood comes out.
Rouse check.
No, I got hungry.
Okay. Once it's out, and he's got the blood, tosses away your hand with enough force that it bangs against the side of the sofa.
Okay.
And then he just begins stirring it with a long, crooked finger. After you, my new friend.
I'll take the chalice. Guess I'll drink it.
Where's Rachel to freak out when I meet her?
I mean, Benjamin doesn't really appreciate any of this, so he'll just drink it.
I miss Rachel,
Don't we all?
especially in moments like this.
Whenever she's not here, things go to shit.
You noticing that trend, are you?
Yes! Funny that.
So. 2 seconds.
Did you get any blood from that? Like,
I don't know, we haven't had that yet.
Slate 1 hunger?
How's it taste?
How does it taste?
Fucking good.
I'll go,
And then just as you're starting to down the rest, Ridget's hand grabs the end and just slowly pulls it away from your mouth.
Okay.
So there's still some in there. He swirls it. And then hands it over. And they take a sip. And then it's empty.
Rachel's gonna kill you.
Paddington does first.
So, we gotta go and see our mutual friend, yes?
yes, he said you had to go and see him.
Ridget, get the fuck away from him. And Ridget uncoils from the sofa. So, where is he?
He's in it's a storage place, a yellow box storage place. I'll give him the address.
How'd you get here?
I drove.
We're gonna go and have a drive. You feeling up to that, Benjamin Green?
Yes, I'm just surprised because you said you wouldn't want to do that. But all right.
Well, tonight's full of surprises.
Oh yes.
I didn't expect to be hearing from a mutual friend quite so early.
Well, if you follow me, I'll take you there.
Let's go.
So I will take them to my car.
Okay.
Is it the three of them who follow me out, or do I think there's a fourth?
You start moving towards the exit, and then as soon as you open the door and then look around, the Nosferatu aren't there anymore. They look like disheveled people that you'd expect to see living in this kind of place, and all three of them are just walking behind you.
But it's three, not four.
It's three.
So I'm ever so sorry to ask this. It's just that he said there'd be four of you. Is there someone else we need to find?
If we couldn't find him, you'd have no luck.
I expect that's true.
That was uttered before he changed, at which point he's like, if we couldn't find him, you'd have no fucking luck.
Yes. So I'll take them to my car.
They follow you, walking very close to where you were. And as you're kind of moving and trying to, fumbling with your keys, you feel like what to outside people would seem like a supportive pat on your shoulder, but the grip that's in those fingers as they wrap over there is quite a silent message of, don't drop your fucking keys again. As you slip the keys into the car and then they climb in. Stoffman sits next to you. Okay. The one that you're assuming is Stoffman.
Yeah.
And the other two sit in the back. You can kind of guess which one's Ridget because he sits on the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've already ascertained that Ridget is the hairy one. Which means the last one is either Cutter or Canker, as far as I would guess. But I don't think Benjamin's going to ask. I think he's just going to not say anything and drive back to Bevan's place.
Back to the yellow box.
Yeah.
Okay. It's, if possible, even more of a slow drive. No one speaks. And all three of them have their eyes on you. But it's amazing how they managed to do that without looking directly at you. Well, for two of them, the one that's Ridget is not only kind of bouncing on his heels on the seat, looking as though he's about to bounce at you, he is staring at the back of your neck without looking away, and nothing that the other ones do. It's like watching the movements that you can think of is an excited chimp, the way that they're kind of shifting from foot to foot, just staring at you, like balled energy about to just explode, and he's just staring at you. And you continue the drive back towards the yellow box storage. And before too long, perhaps a little too quickly for your liking, you manage to find your way back there. The car park is exactly how you left it.
I'll say it's that one. I'll point the building up to them.
Are you going to go and introduce us?
No, I can't. He told me not to come back unless I had something for him. He was very clear. I need.
That I had what?
Sorry?
Unless you had what?
Well, that was between. He didn't tell me to tell you about that. I don't know if I should.
Do composure.
Yeah. Oh, did I get any hunger back from the chalice or not?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll be composure plus intimidate.
Social combat.
Is this going to be? Are you going to make it two-way, or are you just going to be on the defensive?
Oh, I'm going to be on the defensive.
Okay. So if you tie, it's your victory, not his.
Okay.
Okay.
Combat.
Nothing, I tell you, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing, I tell you, nothing.
Okay. You take 2 superficial points of willpower damage, halved and rounded up,
Okay.
as he just leans in very close to you. And it's almost like there's a shift in the car as all 3 of them just moving closer to your seat. You have the large one behind you that even in his mortal guise looks large, unsightly large for your car. And you feel his hand come over and rest on your shoulder. You feel Stoffman lean in towards you, and Ridget is just shaking from one side to the other, suddenly more energetic, almost as though he's just waiting for a click of the fingers to bound at you. And those 3 combined, and the fact that you can see all of them, one at your peripheral, one in the rear view.
He wants me to get him a new phone. All right. He wants a new phone. He told me not to come back unless I had it. He was very clear.
So why didn't you just say that?
Because he didn't. I don't know you, and he wasn't clear about what to. He just told me to deliver the letter and tell you to come here. I didn't want to betray his trust. That's all.
I think I'm just finished doing you one hell of a fucking favor. Give it time. It'll kick in. It's like a kick to the balls. Climbs out of the car. All 3 of them get out. The car kind of leans one way when they get out, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the tall one gets up, and then they slam the door and they start making their way around the back of the car, and you look for them in the wind view mirror, and then you look around and they're gone.
That's fine. I'm driving off. I want to put some distance between me and them. And then I want to stop the car somewhere. And freak out.
Okay. So you go and have your freak out. Meanwhile,
Man, the amount of blood these guys burn. Oh, well, the amount of rouse checks these guys pull off.
Uh-oh.
But it's for a noble cause. I figured something out. So, there is no apparent way to go in unnoticed other than the balcony.
that's from what you've seen.
From what I've seen.
If there is another way, you've not managed to ascertain it in the amount that you're looking.
I don't want a way into the flat. I want a way into the building. So now Michael Chase, being whom he is, he probably has something to avoid any entrance from sewers, things like that, because he's most likely going to hate any Nosferatu that might come in that way. So that's probably not the way in. But if I could get these guys into any of the systems, like either internal vent system, does it have a lift?
Based on the camera footage you've seen, you don't know if there's a lift.
No, on the alarm count.
No.
Like I'm just using, like, how do you call it, like deduction methods. Like, okay, this is a fire alarm, fire alarm, fire alarm. This is a different type of alarm. It probably a lift
So
alarm.
based on what you can see and what you've managed to deduce, there are no vaults. There's no vents.
Damn.
And there is no lift.
Okay, cool. So in order to get to the,
There is a fire suppression system, quite a high-tech one, that's in place. It seems to be the most high-tech bit of kit that he has.
is there a gauge? Does the system measure with a gauge some sort of pressure?
Not that you can see.
As in, if this loses pressure,
I mean,
it
based on the results
notifies
that you've
people.
had, you can tell that there is a system in place, but that's all you can deduce.
Okay.
You know there's one in place.
I had an excellent idea, but no. Okay,
No, you
so
only had
so
three
short of
successes.
flying to the third-story balcony, or jumping from the building that is level to it, because I think none of the buildings is.
There's one that's level to the balcony, a distance away but level.
Mhm.
The other one is slightly taller, but
But it's
not
on the
as tall
opposite
as
side.
Yeah.
And it's on the opposite side of the building, so it's like useless.
Yeah.
He's like having well, forget about it. I want to get them to the top of that building so they can jump down. So I try to come up with a couple of ideas of the sort. And then just keep the system like that, like super, like no one's touching anything, like I'm not here, and I myself go upstairs and look for them.
Up for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't find.
Or text them. I use the central.
Okay. Does not take you long to get the message off. It doesn't take long for bzzzt.
Like I don't need to have a receptionist if I have the central here.
That's Moses. He's got someone.
Lead on, Jim.
Oh, there, ladies.
Right. Katia goes off and joins you down towards the sewer, and with a small measure of reluctance goes in. They begin making their way down towards you, and you hear their approach. And then they turn the corner, and all three of them are there.
Can you fly?
Me?
Either. Because the balcony on the third floor is the only way in without being noticed. And when I say without being noticed, I don't mean only cameras. There's people outside, in cars, eating. Looks like private security. Or cops on the payroll. The angles of the CCTV make me think that he probably has someone in the force helping him keep it safe and safe.
That seems fitting.
There is a building on the other side of the street. Oh, the other side of the street or an alley? Is like how
The one that you can jump from is next to it. The other one is a distance away, so you can't get a direct line of the building.
Yeah, exactly. Like one. Oh, okay. The tall one is like on the other side of a street, so it's like quite far away. And this one is like sort of next.
No, it's on the same street. It's on the same side, but there's a big difference. It's like a road that cuts between the two.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's
on
not
the
a
other
full
side of the
street,
road.
But yeah.
It's a road, and the other one is just a walkway or something.
The difficulty with the slightly taller one isn't so much being able to make the distance; it's the angle.
Yeah.
Because you're basically having to jump and then turn your angle off, because where the building is, if this is the edge of the building, the balcony's here, so you can't run and turn.
And the other one is
adjacent. Yeah.
And how much of a distance is it?
You're looking at between 10 and 15 feet.
Okay.
That's mainly because the very slight height difference will give you angle to get in. You can't kind of judge from here how far it is.
You're like, there is an option through the balcony.
Okay.
So, would you like to go through the balcony?
Sounds just as valid as the front door, I suppose. Probably more subtle.
Okay, I'm gonna help you with that. So, you'll have to wait for me here because I didn't know I needed my spelunking equipment. How do you feel about like there's a slight
very slight.
How do you feel about jumping about 15 feet?
Easy.
Cool. Then I don't need to go anywhere. What I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna ask Katia to. I'm not gonna ask. I'm still with my compulsion. And I go like, Katia, you stay here. That's my terminal. It's in basically stealth mode. Which is gonna be our way out? Which one? Pick one.
Balcony or the front door?
Okay, I just couple of keys on the front door, and I tell to Katia, if you see us heading towards the front door, kill those cameras.
Right.
And then grab this and leave.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is walk with them. We're gonna go into the other building, go to the top floor. I'm gonna obfuscate and soaring leap all the way to the balcony. Because I don't have to make a check to jump
No, you don't.
with that. I mean, it's horizontal distances. I had it covered with soaring leap. It's gonna be basic Nosferatu
Okay.
stuff.
First of all, it's going to be Dex plus Stealth to get to the top of the
Break
building
in.
without being observed. Breaking in, yes. I'll roll for Alicia. By the way, double check the text on your compulsion.
There's one that it's at. Sorry?
Double check the text on your compulsion because you might have just fulfilled it.
3 successes. 3 successes.
I got 3.
I got 3.
3 successes.
So, as one, with a dying ST, you managed to get to the top of this building. Nobody notices you that you managed to observe. Going up the communal the communal staircases, going all the way to the top. Nobody comes out. Some perfectly timed moments allow you to sneak up and down as people are coming in and out of their rooms, and you manage to get to the top floor, allowing you to now see the balcony that Moses was describing.
How easy a jump do I think it is now? I can see it.
I mean, there's a chance you could fall, and it'd hurt, but it's doable.
I tell Alicia, he's like, you want me to carry you over, my lady? I think I have fulfilled my compulsion. You were right. I think in the solitary setting, trying to do it in a novel way, so it does. So I go a little bit back to my old demeanor, but I do have a little bit of pride. It's just a little bit, So I go like, would you like me to jump you all the way in my arms, my lady?
No, I can make it.
Okay, cool.
Who's going first? That is quite an open balcony. If anybody's in that doorway, they're gonna see us.
Unseen passage. Without going hungry. And I jump. And I land.
Okay. That doesn't deaden sound, does it?
No. I don't
Okay.
have. I will have to roll stealth. But I'm
what's
aiming
your-
to go to not to the front of the balcony in the middle, to a side. Probably landing underneath one of the cameras instead of landing in front of a camera. Because I
Dex-
know which cameras are looking.
We'll say, okay, since this is distance, it's going to be strength plus stealth, plus a bonus equal to your obfuscate.
Okay, wow. That's a hell of a pull.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Nice. You sneaky motherfucker.
It is one of the most perfect landings ever. Unfortunately, because you're obfuscated, nobody fucking seen it.
They do because I always get in front of them.
Well, Alicia wasn't looking. No.
And it looks like how, what's that called? Like Heroes of Legends, like the video game, like because I jump with my guitar, of course. So I do a superhero rock star landing, and I just keep to the walls because I know roughly the angles of the cameras as they are not being manipulated.
As you are peering in through the window, you can see 3 men inside. No, 2 men, sorry, and a woman. And they are sat talking with one another around what looks to be some very fine circular sofas with a very large TV set against the far wall that they seem to be looking at. And there's news flashing past about the recent bombings. Not anything groundbreaking, nothing new, but it seems to be still the headline news that's just being recounted. And you can see as the female who's stood behind the other 2 lifts the coffee cup to drink. It lifts part of her jacket up and you can see a firearm put on the side. Roll intelligence plus weaponry.
Intelligence plus?
Weaponry.
Firearm.
Firearm, sorry. thinking old system.
Just intelligence, but it's like I don't care if they have a firearm. Like
Just roll.
I don't like rolling only on the
No,
dice.
it's a horrible feeling.
0 successes, no big still failures. It's
Okay.
just Moses does. He stayed away from the gangs and the cholos, and it's like
Okay. So,
I just from where I am, I just do. I'm using like 3 and a gun. I
3 and a gun. I'm guessing 3 guns.
she waves you over there.
I'm waiting for a moment in which they are. Do they seem distracted?
I mean, they're looking at the TV, but they seem very. Hang on.
Yeah, that's what a lookout is for.
Okay. Wits plus insight.
I have insight. I didn't remember that skill. That is 3 successes.
They are still very much alert. You get the feeling these individuals are professional.
Okay, and this is going to probably turn into a shootout very fast. I try not to be in the angle of the camera, and I just
Yeah, I mean, with 7 successes, you're out the way of the camera.
okay, and then just go to the closest. Oh, these are like full windows, right? Yeah. I just take out my phone and I text Jim. Yeah, 2 guys, a lady. They have guns. They are very much alert. They look trained. The place where I am has no cameras, but I guess you want to make it a land and kill. Send. Text to Katia. Check like if at some point we show up on cameras for over 5 seconds, hit the full flush down button, which is it's just the one in which I drop my the countermeasure I put, and she's in control, so she can like erase, drop, whatever. So it'll be on her to do it, but it's just a flush down. So that'll give her temporary control.
Okay.
Well, apparently they are well trained, so
I'd expect nothing less. In fact, I'd be disappointed if they weren't.
it's maybe fun after all.
And the claws begin growing. Very slowly, and you can see the skin rip on the end of her fingers as the bone elongates. And then on the other side. And they've come out a good distance away.
I think I remember those all too well.
So do I. You were fun, Jim. Don't disappoint me now.
And I'm going to activate my toughness, which is a
Nice.
success,
Okay.
and my own claws, which is a failure. So I'm at hunger 2.
Oh, Alicia, why? You were at hunger 1 when we began.
She'd not know.
Like,
What's your current hunger?
2.
Current hunger?
I'm still at 2.
You're still at 2.
Because I passed
Okay.
the unseen passage.
So, as your claws extend and hers extend, she rocks her neck, and you can hear a crack which is probably louder than it should be, suggesting that she's probably wrenched her neck further than a human probably would. And then she turns at a sprint and darts towards the edge of the building and throws herself off it.
And I'm right behind her.
Okay. And that's where we're going to pause for the break. So, guys, I'm going to hand you over.
So while we do relationship maps and things, I just wanted to say, Firstly, the speaking stake is back, and that means that yeah, we're going to be using it again. It's all beautifully varnished now, so it will be with us forever.
I like how it looks.
Do you see how it makes everything, you know, much more civilized?
Oh no, it's just.
Or we can go this way. What excitement! All right, so there's not a lot of changes to the relationship map. The main difference is that Abigail Jenkins, of course, is no longer on this board because she's no longer able to have a relationship with anyone. But in her place, in Benjamin's corner, is Fagin the cat, who hopefully will be able to have relationships with people for a long time to come. And that is literally the only shift on the relationship map. So we're going to switch to the board of the day, which of course does have updates. I suspect it's going to have many more updates after this session as well. So there's no changes to the cool or the uncool sections of the Board of the Dead. However, in the Board of the Dead section itself, kind of in the middle area, you may notice that Edmund / Vehement we've now added Greg to that. Poor Greg. So that puts him at the top of the kill board, which, depending on your point of view, is a terrible or a wonderful thing, you know.
He was a wonderful man.
I get the sense he's not going to be there for long.
And I'm also very sad to say that Benjamin has now joined the killers on the Board of the Dead. So killed by Benjamin, we have Abigail Jenkins.
Join us.
So the only code to remember that is not here yet
Is the one who was also not here.
is the
Yeah, if we had the board of the beaten by a pipe, she'd be totally on there.
totally on it, and no one
Unfortunately-
else would be joining.
Yeah,
them, but-
but that's its own separate board coming soon. But it's like,
Is this going to be what injuries? Is this going to be what injuries suffered by the coterie? Another board.
Do we have-
Injuries and who?
Oh wait.
hey, we can have board of the broken neck, just for Jim.
Do we have questions from chat?
No.
Okay, so while in that case, there is something I wanted to say, which is just that if you are watching us on YouTube and you have made it this far, I just want to say thank you very much. And one of the things that is delightful is finding people who've commented on our YouTube videos whenever you find us. So obviously we have a lovely time interacting with people live on Twitch, but if you are not able to join us on Twitch, we still love you anyway. So thank you very much.
Also, I have been made aware that more people have been commenting in YouTube and Facebook in our videos with information from Malop, Moses' amazing list of places. So I am gonna do a full Blood on the Thames Malop compilation to just reminisce with you guys all the places around the world you've been watching us as a thank you. Like, it's amazing how we can be seen from across oceans and how you guys can interact with one another time zones away and still make it feel like one big family. And I assume there is a question from chat that you just found miraculously.
So no, yeah. So Nerdy Birdie just asked what art does the coterie ones doing, or if there's any
What?
what art, what fan art, what.
Ooh.
The coterie dead.
Well, we already are dead, so we
Semantics.
already have that. Yeah, we already have. But firstly, I've seen a bit of art for Alicia on Twitter today, which was like, yeah, great. Of course, I'm done to see more because my sire.
Lucy!
Okay.
More Lucy.
But of course, I would actually be fascinated to see someone doing the battle between Alicia and Jim and
And
that
the
fucking
beast.
goat.
It's easy, just paint it black. It's dark.
Yeah,
no
just
one
send
see
him a
anything.
black page.
Black page.
With the occasional, like...
a little streak of white here and there. And red.
Sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we were to meet from...
We know you have Gangrel, we mean more of your awesome art.
Oh, yeah. As much art. I like the one with Moses going into... like, I don't know, it's like, whose room is that? Whose room was that? I was just like looking at Moses, and Moses was like, trying to look inconspicuous. There are many things. Like I'm not gonna ask anyone to draw Benjamin doing art, but something from the chase, the car chase.
So I would personally quite like the idea of Benjamin painting, and then you could have in the painting Benjamin painting.
Benception.
I mean, to be honest, anything you guys do is wonderful.
Everything.
And if you're taking requests, I guess something, because things are quite harrowing at the moment. Maybe something involving Fagin the cat.
Yeah, something light, something happy. And
Fagin the cat killing them all. Sorry, one track mind.
Yeah, I'm noticing a theme. Ooh, I got snake.
Do we have any other questions or comments from chat?
There's something else I want to talk about actually.
Somebody asked, which I think you did mention earlier, but maybe just say again, if they can know the degeneration roll results.
Yes, of course you can. Both of them passed.
Yeah, basically, Moses had 1 die left. If you're familiar with degeneration rolls, you have your humanity, and it's subtracted from 1 to 10. So when you get stains, you have to roll to see if you regret what you did or you accept it and rationalize it, which Titus touched on briefly when he was talking about the remorse mechanic. So even if you have low humanity, you have like a lot of like empty boxes all the way to 10, and those are filled by your stains, and however many are not marked with stains, that's the number of dice you roll, and you always get to roll at least 1 die. Yeah. And I rolled and I got a success, because that's all you need, 1 success. I rolled 1 die.
It will surprise no one to learn that Benjamin also only rolled 1 dice at the end of the last session, because he
the
had
amount of stains.
Many stains. And yeah, and these rolls are very pivotal because, of course, as Titus said, if you fail the roll, then your character starts to justify it. And Benjamin was under compulsion last session, and so had he justified that, I think it would have been a very fast nosedive down the humanity track for the rest of the few short sessions he'd have. So something else I want to say is, if you are watching this and you're new, or if you're watching this and you've got a terrible memory, or you're just curious, on the website now we've got the ShrekNet files, which are, it's like a who's who guide. It's as spoiler free as we can make it, so it is just the characters as they first appear in the Chronicle and the information that we have. It's just a few lines on each, but it's a reminder for who's who, should you be interested.
It's even got Rusty Joe.
It does. And I think we've absolutely nailed Foggy, just for what it's worth. So do check that out.
So did the hairiness. Yeah. Sorry.
I was waiting for
Sorry, I'm really like in that kind of mood today. I'm sorry.
And of course, hashtag Malop. Because I forgot to say it. I'm doing a recount. Tell us, where are you watching us from?
Any more for anyone?
Anything else?
Sorry, Kirsty.
Oh wait.
Oh. I've got up for this. One guy's question chat. After the way some chats have gone over the last month or so, can there be a picture of the Coty looking longingly at a box of Jaffa cakes?
Close, but we found this. These are
Jammy Dodgers.
Jammy Dodgers. I'm gonna let someone who's familiar with them talk about them.
So Jimmy Dodgers is going to be the name of my next character, I think.
I've never tried them.
So of course, as I'll put this on, man. As we had a discussion a couple of weeks ago about biscuits, and of course, being British, we have our Jammy Dodgers, and someone not originating from Britain has never had these. So one thing I have thoroughly enjoyed doing over time I have known our lovely Carlos is introducing him to some British food.
That's a little like a cake.
It's a biscuit.
This
Do
is
you
going to start
split
a really...
it like an Oreo?
No, well, you can eat it however you want.
Which is to say the English way. Was that the one laced with poison? What's wrong with me today? I blame you, Mitch. Yeah.
What?
All the aggression you normally have in the chat, I'm just channeling through me today.
Actually, I like them. I'm sorry. I like them. Biscuits were nice. And the jam was like very flavorful, but it's not like super gooey or whatever. It's like super. It's nice. Jaffa
Have you ever
cakes
watched
still
the
wing,
ST?
but these are good.
So, any more queries, questions? Thank you, Nerdy Bird. That is encouragement, just so you know. That's not going to make me stop. That's going to make me worse.
We're dead. We are so dead. Well, even more than we already are.
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
We are good.
They want to see you do horrible things to a symbol.
I know.
Wait, my guitar.
Hey, guitar guy!
Fuck the world.
I'm gonna be known as Moses the guitar Nosferatu for a wall.
Hey, guitar guy!
Yep, I'm done.
Cool. So, nothing else? Then we'll come straight back into it. We ended on you two. So rather than make those rolls, we're going to go straight back to Benjamin. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Benjamin,
Yeah.
you're in your car.
So there's probably been a bit of monologuing going on in the car, where I've been kind of this is wrong. It's wrong, but if he's wrong, then that means he might have been right before. What does that mean? I don't know what any of it means. I'm gonna get my phone out,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try and phone the coterie
Okay.
because I need them. I need help. And unfortunately, I don't have many other numbers. So I'm going to try calling the coterie.
Okay. So, what's your intention on calling the coterie?
What, as in, what am I going to...
Yeah, I mean, why are you just calling them to talk to them, or are you calling them for a purpose?
I'm calling them for the purpose of getting help because, you know, I've just bumped into the Sabbat.
Okay.
Even Benjamin knows the guys in the photo with the Sabbat. And he wants to tell Moses and Katia and Jim. I mean, he's not going to just blurt it over the phone because that would be madness, but he is going to try and at least initiate some kind of cryptic conversation to suggest that shit's going down and that he needs backup, / advice, / a miracle. And of course, but also his other intention is he wants to get Sabine's number.
Sabine's number.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I don't have Edward Colbert's number.
No.
You assume well.
Don't even have my own Primogen's number. What kind of crazy clan is this? So yeah, I'll try the coterie anyway. See if they pick up.
So,
Who do you start with?
I'm gonna start with Moses.
Call or text?
Call.
Immediately hang up and then reply like, I am given the go ahead and I have a bus, so I grab it and go back again just in case it's Katia. I see that's Benjamin. I hang up and I start writing a text message as Alicia flies. Can't reply now. Bit busy. Let me know where you are and I'll pick you up.
well, you go like this, but she could go like that, depending on the results of the roll. But yeah, she sails through the air.
Hey, I offered to carry her in my arms.
I know, but stubbornness.
I mean,
Stubbornness, man. So, that's the first message sent out. Who are you calling now?
Well, I'll try Jim.
Okay.
Sorry, no, I'll try Katia next because I want Sabine's number.
Okay. Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Hello, Ben.
Katia?
Yes.
I need to. You know when I said I was fine?
Yes.
No, it's not. I'm not fine. I need to talk to Sabine. Can you put me in touch with her?
I can try, but why? What's going on, Ben?
It's complicated. Do you remember that that there was a photograph that people had of some fox hunters that we had that we showed to some other people. I think the fox hunters are
Ben,
going to
slow down.
No, I can't slow down. The fox hunters are going to a party, and my father invited them to the party, which was something of a shock to me. And what's that?
There's a knocking on your window.
Okay, look.
You can see what looks to be a worker for the blue-yellow standing there looking in with a flashlight.
I'll have to call you back.
Ben hangs up.
I'll wind down the window.
It's a bit late for you to be parking here.
Oh, so sorry. I just got a little lost. I had to work out where I was. I'll be on my way.
Where are you headed?
What? Why? I won't park here any longer. I'll be on my way.
Right, well, I just need your registration for the car.
Oh yes, of course. I'll look out at them. Does it just look like regular police? Sorry, is it?
It's not police.
It's not police. What they look
Works for the yellow.
Security for the yellow thingy.
I'm not in the yellow thingy.
Yeah?
I'm not in the yellow place.
Oh, you're not in there?
I drove away.
Apologies.
I said I was going to put distance between me and them.
My
and then
apologies.
Freak out.
In which case, there is no
There is no.
retract to that.
Okay.
Sorry, I completely glossed over that. Yeah, so
Okay.
timey-wimey.
Sorry.
You were freaking out on a safe place. You went away to freak out.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
can't freak out there. That's he's too wired.
So in which case, then you'd
You're
still be
still
on the phone.
talking
Yeah.
with Katia. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I was saying. So I'll say.
Your father invited.
Father invited them to a party, which was very surprising, and I was thinking maybe our and I think I really want good friends of his to talk to about this, because I'm not sure he should be going to those sort of parties at his age. So I need to speak to Sabine, because I thought I could persuade him, but no, I really can't. And I'm hoping that that he'll listen to her, because I think hopefully they're friends.
Well, I can't guarantee that she'll be available, Ben. It's not really...
Well, if you can just put me, you can give her my number, or I can call her. I don't mind. I need to speak to her. It's quite urgent. You know, because I think this could be quite a wild party.
I can message her, but I...
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
I've kind of got a lot on my hands at the moment, Ben. I can't really...
This is really. I don't know if I'm being too cryptic, but I'm talking about fox hunters.
Yes, and you're well aware of the thing that we're doing.
No,
right?
I'm not.
No?
I just. Fine. I'll hang up.
Frustration.
You can almost hear the... Hang up on me.
Okay. I'm going to try calling Marcus the Ghoul. It's the only other number I've got.
Bzzzt.
I've got you better.
Yeah.
Bzzzt. Bzzzt. Hello?
Oh, hello. Is that Marcus?
Mr. Green?
Yes. Sorry, Mr. I'm sorry. My manners are all over the place. I was really hoping. I wondered if you had Mr. Colbert's number.
Mr. Green, when I gave you my contact number, it wasn't to be a point of contact between you and your peers.
It's somewhat urgent. I wouldn't call unless it was urgent.
Even so, that's...
If you don't, that's fine. I just it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Hang up.
Poor Marcus.
And he's there going... He hung up.
Okay. Well, he's hoping Sabine will get back to him. He's out of numbers. So, the only people he knows who are friends of Edmund are Edward and Sabine. So, I think when the going gets tough, he is going to he'll text the coterie to say, call me as soon as you can, and then he will drive to Abigail's flat.
Okay.
That face is really beginning to terrify me.
What?
Nothing.
So, with a muffled, well, actually, it's either going to be a muffled or quite a loud thump. We're going to be landing somewhere, so we need to make a roll. Strength plus athletics. It's almost like a part of me doesn't want to roll this dice pool. I wonder why. Oh, that'll be why. Willpower.
Do I risk it? Don't I risk it? Risk it. Willpower. 4 successes.
Okay.
That could have been a messy crit.
You watch as they leave the other building and begin sailing through the air, one after the other. Their arms going, well, cartwheeling as they're just landing forwards, or rolling forwards. And the moment that Alicia hits, she almost skids across with the momentum of her leap, almost directly in front of the
camera.
the large windows. Well, not the camera.
The large window.
Jim, however, has a more well-timed landing directly next to you and steadying himself with the wall.
Amateurs. I think.
You think?
To myself.
Mm-hmm. Don't say that to the gangrel. Running and jumping is their thing. Kind of.
It should be. But I'm there, and if I need to study any of them, or maybe like pull them, like that's from the camera, or watch out. There they are. 1 H.
Alicia begins pulling up her hood.
I pull up mine.
She
and-
pulls up her sleeves, which shows the full length of the claws. And you notice that the bones that have come out of the end of her fingers have begun to ridge in her forearms, which makes her forearms look misshapen, almost where the bones have kind of bunched and then found release through the fingers. And she looks in, peering, and the moment that she turns her head around the corner, you catch a glint as her eyes just become slits, and she just peers inside. And then she looks back at you. Well, who's going first?
Ladies.
I pull up the bit of Rachel's Katia's scrap fabric and so as cover up and my own hood up.
So we're taking one each. No?
Less likely to raise the alarm. Quicker.
We're going to want to do this promptly before...
Okay.
Right. There's a chuckle. And then she reaches out with the long fingers just slowly curling as she grips the end of the door and just slowly begins pulling it.
The moment there is a slit about plus the guitar, like about this, I walk in with obfuscate before her, before them. Like the moment I see that it's enough for me to go in, I'm obfuscated still. I walk in. So even if they notice that there's someone coming from the door, I can go around them.
Okay.
Because that's the only thing I have in favor, the element of surprise.
The moment she starts pulling the door, it catches, and then there's a thump as it comes over the blockage, as it were, in the door. And as she pulls it, immediately they all turn and their hands go to the sides. But the moment she sees them turn, she wrenches the door fully open and barrels through. So,
And I'm straight in.
Can I reach melee distance with soaring leap and be engaged? I'm standing. I'm the one. Like she's pulling it, but I am standing there. She's the one pulling it from the side. I'm standing just in front of it.
I will say roll dex plus wits.
Okay.
If you beat their score, then you'll get in close and count as being close combat before they pull their weapons and fire.
Okay, cool. Willpower. Well, I have 3 successes so far,
That'll do.
but I want to have more than 3 successes.
It's not like they're highly trained professionals. or anything.
Exactly. It's not like they are like super trained professional. 3, 4 successes. 4 successes.
Okay. So the moment that Alicia and yourself begin barreling through, lunging through this window, and the moment they turn and their hands go to their weapons, the 2 men rise from the sofa. The woman drops the coffee onto the floor with a soft, kind of muffled clatter, and she begins pulling the weapon. And just as it's come free of her holster, who are you jumping for?
The one who has the one who is easiest to tackle. So I think the woman, while they stand up, I just tackle the woman. My attack is basically I start drinking from her. Like this is gonna be like.
Okay. It's going to be then. Is this a vicious bite, or are you going to feed?
No, I'm gonna feed, but
Okay.
I'm not. But I'm not gonna be careful on my initial bite. I just want her to be enthralled by the kiss as soon as possible, so she doesn't fire or raise the alarm.
All right. Strength plus brawl.
I rouse.
She's unaware you're there, so she doesn't get to dodge.
Exactly. Is that a difficulty one? Should I rouse? It's 3 dice.
So keep in mind, margin of success is going to go for it. But then again, a bite, I'm pretty certain it's too aggravated.
It's just too aggravated, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not gonna rouse because I don't want to do a lot of damage. I just want to
Okay.
control her by feeding, and I'm not gonna feed forcefully or whatever. I just want to use the kiss to put her in some sort of a trance. That will, of course, make me 100% vulnerable to the other 2, but I'm hoping these 2 don't mess up.
I don't like your insinuation there. Okay.
And that is a success that I needed.
Okay.
Talk about cutting it close.
Okay. So you lunge forward, and as you and Alicia are just barreling into the room and they rise and begin pulling the weapons, the first glint of metal that you see is from the woman, or not metal, but the equivalent of, because it's going to be a Glock. As she pulls the pistol free of its holster and begins lifting it, all of a sudden she buckles backwards as Moses just flashes into view, wrenching her head back and just bites down, and she suddenly goes limp and the pistol drops to the ground.
With falling, whatever, sofa.
And they both,
ground.
from the momentum of your leg, just tumble to the ground. The other 2, as they look around at this, are already seeing you 2, you and Alicia, coming in, and they both draw their pistols and fire. You went through the door first as she wrenched it back.
Right.
Okay, so they're going to be firing at you.
Dexterity, athletics.
Dexterity plus athletics. You have celerity, so you don't take a penalty. However, your second roll to dodge is at a -1 because it's the second defense you're doing.
So the first one's 3 successes.
Okay. That's a critical win.
Oh crap.
So
I'm getting shot.
-1 die.
Yeah, minus 1 die.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is 4 successes.
Okay, so the first round, as it lifts, and this is from the smaller guy, he lifts it with more speed, more surety, brings it straight up to his level, and fires off 2 shots. The first one, which hits straight into your collarbone, and the second one, on the momentum as it travels up, hits you square in the head. You're going to take 8 points, halved.
No, 8 points minus 2.
2.
Yeah, so that is it before
It's
halved?
before and then it's half. Yeah.
Okay, so 6, halved, and then up to 3. So 3 points from the double tap, which hits you square in the chest and once in the head. And the moment that the round hits you and you're still standing, his eyes flash, but he doesn't lose his composure. The other one, however, as he pulls up the weapon and trains it on, the moment he sees the round go in, he dips his weapon expecting you to drop. The moment you don't, he lifts up and fires, and the round goes straight past you, shatters the window behind you, and then flies out into the sky. Both rounds were loud and went off.
Yes, I'm hoping Katia is going like, oh, shots fire, flush down, and starts deleting
Meanwhile,
everything.
Katia's back at the haven going, fuck those guys. Not getting involved.
Like
not my bloody
we're
boon.
lucky that she knows computers and that I could leave the system with her.
So, now, you and Alicia close the gap. The one that floundered is the one that Alicia's gone for. Are you going for the other one?
I'll be over there and get that one.
Okay.
Fucking shot me.
Right. So Alicia's going to go first. Because she has the higher dex and wits. This guy is going to make it two-way. Okay. Sorry. 5 successes versus 0.
Oh,
So, she lunges in towards him, and then as he brings his weapon to bear on her, she ducks underneath his arm, moving straight past his side, and rakes her claws across his gut and pulls them free. And the front half of his stomach comes away with the claws, including part of his bowels and large intestines. And he just slumps forward, eyes wide, gurgling, and just hits the ground. There is no way he is getting up from that. Because that goes far over his health boxes. As he just slumps forward and stops moving as his blood just begins pooling out. And as she lifts up her claws, she drags one across her tongue and then turns and looks at the other one. Jim?
As I'm trying to follow those and just bury my teeth in this guy.
Okay, so this is going to be a two-way.
Yep. Strength pool.
You get a minus for trying to bite, don't you?
I think, yeah, if you're trying to bite into a brawl.
Yes. Yeah, that needs to be accounted for.
How much did I
Is
tell
it
you?
Minus two.
Minus 2, yeah.
I believe.
You did do the minus 2 when you bit. Oh, no, she was unaware.
No,
anyway,
for me, I was attacking from surprise.
Yeah.
He's fully aware. I'll just.
Yeah, it's going to be a minus 2. You've
I'll
got 4
just-
successes as your
You're gonna go with a
I'll
claw?
just-
Yeah, a claw with no penalty, yeah. Ah.
He's willpowering it.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
5.
I'm going to willpower this one.
Ooh.
5.
Ah.
So,
So you hit each other, right?
yep. So you
Oh, but
will
you
end
do
up
3.
dealing 4 points of damage, which he doesn't get to half.
4?
Yep, because when you tie, you get 1 margin of success, and he has +3 on his claws. No, plus
Oh,
2.
okay.
So it will become 3 successes.
Yeah, but he gets 0.
Huh?
He takes 0.
No, because it was a 2-way.
Yeah. 1 minus 2 for
Yeah, no,
fortitude.
I don't mean him. I mean the mortal.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
So as you begin rushing in, he drops his pistol down and clubs you across the side of the face out of pure reflex.
And he's
As
like-
your head comes around, you drive your claws up, and as he tries to skim out of the way, you just catch him on the side. Your little finger, elongated, piercing in, roughly where you believe his kid needs to be. And as you draw it back, he grips his side, his weapon shaking as he starts turning towards the door, about to make a beeline for it. Clearly just seen his companion disemboweled, and you just put a finger through him. Probably not getting paid enough for this shit.
Oh shit.
So. You're feeding?
I cannot talk with my mouth full.
No, you cannot. Okay, so it'll go back to engage close combat. And of the 3 of you, it's going to be Alicia first. No, she's going to be joining the new combat, so it's not going to be her first. It's going to be your feeding. Okay, so you're going to take another round, another rouse points worth. Okay, which I believe is lethal damage.
Nope. I'm just keeping her there for as long as the combat lasts.
Yeah, but you're drinking, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to make it. I think it's 2.
It's 3 rounds to sip. If you're basically now just drinking gently, it would take you 3 rounds to
Okay,
get
well,
that hunger
since
level.
Yeah,
this
I'm
is in the middle of
sick-
combat with shit
this
going
one-
on,
yeah.
roll composure for me, plus resolve.
No, that's not gonna end well.
Because you currently have the taste of blood in your mouth
Yeah.
with stuff going on, and an elder kindred that you don't know where
One
he is.
success. No, okay. So probably I just took 1 rouse check. Well, it
Is
brought me
it-
to hunger 1.
Yep. Okay,
And,
so I'm going to say, without looking at the book, it's not going to be superficial because you're draining her blood. So it's going to be aggravated to her.
So since I am drinking the second, I rouse to heal
Okay.
from the massive kick that I got last time, and I don't go hungry. So next round I will heal again.
So the moment that this goes on and you feel the vibrations in the air from the gunshots, the sound echoing out, the shattering sound, distance though it is, given your feeding, of the glass shattering, you just continue to focus on drawing blood. And every additional sound, the moment that you do, you pull more. But you stop yourself from withdrawing your fangs and causing damage. And she begins going more and more limp underneath you. And you're scarcely aware. You open your eyes to try and observe what's going on, but the only thing you can focus on is the ecstasy of the kiss and the feed. Everything else is oblivious to you. Make your attack.
Yeah, with that previous one, as we equaled, even with my fortitude, it still reduced to a minimum of 1.
Yeah, minimum
So
1, so
I
you
have
will still
already
take
You
one.
always get 1.
a minimum of 1.
Oh, so fortitude doesn't reduce it to 0.
No.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Mitch, thank you. So, yes, it will be a minimum of 1.
Right.
So you'll take superficial point of 1 damage.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy's definitely just trying to run now, is he?
Yeah, he's turned around and trying to leg it. So he's not going to get to make an attack against you in turn. His is on everything else. So he goes after you.
I'm gonna try
Or
and
after Alicia, rather.
I'm gonna try and grapple him.
Okay. It's going to be 2-way again. Actually, it's going to be a defense for him because he's got no interest in trying to tangle with you at the moment. Okay, 2 successes.
3.
Okay. So as he turns around and starts barreling away from you, his feet hammering down on the blood-soaked carpet, you grab forward with your claws, and that gives you the extra reach you need to grab hold of his shoulders and wrench him back. And he pulls full bodily into you. The puncture wound in his side just bleeding profusely from where you've punctured a kidney. And he is suddenly yanked in. And the moment that you have him in place, Alicia steps around and in front of him, brings her face uncomfortably close to his, licks him across the cheek to get some of the blood off, and then lifts her claw, descends it slowly, and just inserts it into him. I'm not even going to roll for that. That's
I'm busy eating.
Yeah.
and as he begins shuddering, his eyes going wide, she leans in again, kisses him on the cheek, and then just lifts her
No,
hand
but
to
I'm
free
gonna
him.
sink my fangs and just try and drain him
Okay,
as I
you can drain 1 point's worth. She has just gutted him with her claws.
Yep.
Seems to be a fond tactic of hers, you seem to recall.
I am taking a second point of blood.
Okay.
Um,
She is very pale.
yes. I healed my last non-aggravated point of superficial damage, of course. I failed my rouse check, so it will take me to hunger 2, but with that, hunger 1. And if her being super pale, do I feel her fainting, or is she already fainted?
Yeah, she's unconscious.
Oh, okay. I just put my hand there, lick close the wound.
Okay.
Take my time and leave her there. Grab the pistol.
Okay.
Does she have any extra magazines?
Yeah, she has 1 on her belt. Take that as well.
Oh, the belt. Looks nice.
Okay.
No, I'm just taking out the magazine.
Okay. So,
Because this pistol has not been fired. And then again.
as he drops to the floor and she licks the gore off the claws, she then turns around to what you couldn't see on the CCTV is where these windows are. It stretches past because the CCTV could only see the kitchen area, this current seating area, or the very base of, and the windows. But when it curves around, there is a very ornate fireplace built into the wall, and there's a chair in front of it, and then there is a room going off to the side.
There's no one in the chair.
No one in the chair. Do wits plus awareness for me.
Both of us, or just both of us?
I think everybody.
And Alicia as well.
Instincts or not? This would
No.
be instincts then.
4 successes.
2.
Okay.
No
Right.
criticals.
So, as Alicia drops him, actually, I didn't even roll for her. She's distracted. You can smell as you are speaking gas
from the fireplace.
from the fireplace.
You're like, oh, hold on. God, from the fireplace.
Shit.
I run to the balcony to the corner. Yeah, I take my phone out as I run to the balcony to the corner.
It says MC has left the building.
Who sent it?
Katia.
Katia. From where?
I need you to do
Elvis has left the building, so
strength plus athletics.
someone's gonna kill me. Someone's gonna kill me.
Just.
You know, everyone.
I was already running to the. I was already running to the balcony because I wanted to go to the
I
balcony.
know. So you can get +1 on it.
I rouse
I'm gonna rouse one.
because I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna use my soaring leap to jump.
Okay, if you're barreling straight for it, you're going to be leaping towards the ground.
I'm gonna be leaping to the other building.
You're not going to have time.
I'm gonna be leaping to the ground
Okay.
like this.
Okay, -1 for the shitty posture. I'm joking.
How many?
It destroys the sword, however, from the backlash.
He's just messing with you, carry on. He's just being horrible, it's fine. Don't ignore the horrible man, it's fine.
I can't help it.
Just the 4 of the critical success.
How many?
4, but
4?
on 2 dice. That's it. Critical success.
Crit win.
6 successes.
6. Wow.
So 2 crit wins.
Yeah, but I mean, I got
I get
the 4 successes, and he goes like, "The sword is destroyed." And he, like, I lost all emotion. I was like, "No, my beautiful, beautiful guitar."
You throw yourselves towards the end of the room as your phone shows this message. And you, instead of just going through the gap, because not all 3 of you can go through it, Alicia goes through the window and throws herself off the end the moment you mention gas, and you follow likewise. And you are just below the level of the balcony when an explosion plume of fire just goes overhead as you drop.
Did she also crit
out of
win?
level. Yeah, she did.
High 5.
Yeah, you all managed to get it. I mean, the one with the highest success was you. She got 5.
I got
The
just
crit
the
win,
4.
you are all. No one takes
Right,
damage.
we're still in
Wait.
the 3rd story, aren't we?
Huh?
We're still in the 3rd story, aren't we?
Yep. So you're gonna take damage now.
I am going to try and reflexively activate Weight of the Feather.
Is it reflexive?
Yes,
Yes.
you can activate it
You can.
reflexively.
It is with-
Alicia can't.
He has to make a roll there.
I will auto rouse. Because.
Just to make sure.
Yep. Give me a good shot.
Oh, spend that willpower,
Oh yeah.
boy.
By the way,
Definitely will buy that. Nope, that
I
doesn't
don't go
activate.
hungry from rousing from trying to escape.
Okay.
It does not. It doesn't activate.
It doesn't.
And I got a hunger 3.
Okay, so it doesn't activate.
No, it does not activate. I need it. I need
So-
the 3 successes. Bollocks.
We're gonna say stamina plus athletics.
Yay!
This is gonna determine how much of a kathunk you take.
I am gonna rouse.
That was good.
Does the fact that I have
I got a
soaring leap detract from the 3 successes? That's a question I had.
I
I-
will say give you what's your potence?
1.
+1 then. Roll 1 more.
Yeah, because if you jump up and down like 5 meters and back down, you at least have that cushioning. But this is like 3 stories, so I need like potence 3 to clear this. But that's a success, so it's 3.
4.
Okay.
And I did have to spend willpower for that.
Okay. So you will
3.
take 3, reduced down to 2, halved up to 1. God, math is.
So.
Yeah, so you'll take 1 superficial. You will take 2.
2.
So it's 3, halved, up to 2.
Okay.
Yep. Alicia takes none as she lands with a heavy impact, and the ground slightly creaks underneath her. It doesn't fully cracks underneath her, not fully from the impact. And she does roll as she lands, and all of the clothing just gets scuffed as she just goes over and over on the ground underneath. Jim, you land a little bit less delicately. You can hear the sprain of your ankle and possibly the wrenching of the ligament. Moses, you're landing with slightly less grace, namely on your
But
wrist
I
as it goes down.
I heal one of those.
Yeah. As you land and your wrist goes down, you hear that as the forearm just fractures and breaks halfway up.
And I just immediately I just heal at least one superficial out of the two, like extending my arm as I walk away. And I'm not forget it, I'm speed dialing Katia.
Okay.
Which way did he leave?
Moses, please tell me that wasn't you.
No, it was Michael Chase. I swear to God, we went in and then...
Right, he's climbing into a car and he's leaving from the front of the building.
Unseen passage, and I book it to my motorcycle.
Okay, so this is going to be a foot race.
Yeah, without going hungry.
Strength plus athletics, and we will be cutting back to you in a second.
Okay.
I
Because the only one that has a slight chance of at least following him is the one with the motorcycle. Strength plus athletics?
Yeah, because this is a foot chase.
And
See
I'm
if
gonna,
you can-
oh my God, I'm gonna rouse.
Okay, well.
2 successes.
4?
4.
Just 2.
Okay. The moment that she says this, and because of the volume of which she's speaking, it goes through the phone, Alicia's head turns towards the alleyway and she books it in time with Jim, running off ahead of you as you run to catch up behind them.
Yeah, but they're running towards the car, I'm running towards my
moment
bike.
that they come around the side, and you're sitting onto your bike getting ready, the car screeches around the corner and begins driving off. The moment it goes past, Alicia, with claws, leaps towards the boot and punches the claws into the back as it begins taking off down the road. I need a strength plus... dex plus... No? Yeah, dex plus brawl from you to see if you can do the same. Otherwise, this is going to go out of your reach.
3.
Okay, so you throw yourself over towards the end, and as your hands go straight into the boot, there is a moment where one of them comes free, and your fingertips almost scrape along the ground as the car just books it down. But you manage to lift it and re-grab as Alicia begins crawling her way up towards the rear view, the window.
I'm picking you up, and I drive towards Katia. It's like,
Okay.
I put my, now that I see that both have gone, I put my helmet and I drive to Katia.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, but I'm not gonna leave her here stranded. What if someone's
No,
looking
that's not
for
what I
her?
mean. That's not. It's fine.
Meanwhile, on a quieter side of town,
It's quieter, dangerouser.
bzzzt,
I'll pull over because I was on the way to Abigail's flat. I'll answer the phone. Hello.
Benjamin,
Who do I think it is? Do I recognise the voice?
Abigail, Amelia, sorry.
Oh, hello.
You said to give you a call.
Yes.
Are you all right?
There's a very long answer to that question, but probably best not over the phone. Do you need something?
I thought I'd let you know I'm not alone at the moment. Danielle has...
Danielle, yes. Oh, right. That's brilliant. Could I meet with you soon?
Well, you did say that I was to tell you where I am.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. I just mean, wherever you want. I actually would be quite good to talk to you and Danielle. Actually, I think that would be really useful. Right now.
Okay. Well, just tell me what to do.
Well, oh, it's hard to think. Hang on. I'll try and think of a place we could meet or that they would know. I don't know.
I mean, there's loads of landmarks in London you could potentially say.
I mean, I want somewhere that's fairly quiet because...
Your haven.
No, I'm not bringing. I don't want Amelia going near my haven because that's just like a death zone. Everything horrible happens there.
Yep.
There's
Everything
like
horrible's happening everywhere you go at the moment.
Well, this is true. So, I seem to remember one of the more recent hotels she was at. There was like a little bench and a park area nearby it. So I'll name that place. I'll say if you can meet me there in how long do I think it'll take me to get there if I go via Abigail's flat?
Probably about 40 minutes. Because you are branching up towards the north
Yeah.
and coming back around close to
So if I can meet you there in about an hour.
Okay, I might be slightly late.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. And you know you both go carefully, all right? Go very carefully, and I'll see you hopefully in an hour.
Okay. Chang's up.
Sure.
That's going to be a long...
Gonna be the new thing, isn't it?
Hashtag. So, you begin making your way towards Abigail's flat. And by the time you got that phone call, you're not terribly far away. And you find yourself pulling up to an area which feels, it makes you somewhat ambivalent in terms of... and there's a mixture of emotion kind of
There's a lot of
through.
feels. There's a lot of feels, it's true. So I'm gonna take the keys that I have.
Okay.
So I'm assuming I'll basically make sure, I'll do my best to make sure there's no one around or kind of going through, and then I will go through.
There are some people coming in and out, but they don't pay you any mind. The moment they see keys in your hand, they just kind of glance over. And there's no hindrance between you and her flat. The keys slot in, turn, and open. And the moment you do, from the other side of the door, and a very pacing cat comes in, starts rubbing up against your legs, weaving in and out of them the moment you're in that door.
Okay, I'll shut the door behind me and say, "Oh, Fagin, you must be starving. Let's see what we can do." So I'll go into the kitchen. I have a pretty good idea, obviously, because I've been through a lot of her cupboards already. So I'll go because I'm a great
There's
guy.
loads of cat food.
Yeah.
There's a surplus of.
I'll look to see because obviously this is still
His bowl's licked clean.
early, this is still like 2001. So I'm assuming she'll have some carrier bags and a thing somewhere. So I'll
2001, I still have that.
I'll get a carrier bag or two. I'll fill them with cat food of various kinds. But because Benjamin is soft as shit, he will find some kind of cat treats thing and put it into the bowl. So let Fagin have something to eat before we go.
Darts between your legs and just starts going for it, taking up the trees. You get the feeling that he hasn't eaten in a long time.
I will just plonk down on the floor in a slight kind of... And kind of enjoy the mundanity of a cat eating something.
It's pacing in and out of the bowls.
Has it finished what was there?
It's finished the food. The water bowl's empty and dry.
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course, you must be thirsty. I'll fill...
And the bowl vanishes just as quickly. You're starting to get a grip of just how long Fagin's been on his own. And then the moment it's finished, it begins weaving in and out of your legs again.
So you're right. Well, I couldn't help Abigail. I really couldn't. I really didn't do well there. But I can help you, Fagin. So you can come with me now. I'm going to pick up the cat.
She pick him up. Just kind of puts her hand, like a paw, against your chest and just like...
Right, get me carrier bags of cat food. Get a cat. Exit the flat.
And you make your way down. Are you relocking the door?
Yep.
Or? Okay, so you start making your way downstairs, back into your car, put Fagin down, and then immediately Fagin starts rubbing up against everything in your car, moving back and forth over the seats. Doesn't wear a seatbelt though. Your audacity off.
I'm gonna have
and then
to.
goes underneath the seat and stays under there.
Okay, I'm gonna drive off to meet Amelia.
Okay. So, by the end of between 40 minutes and an hour, you manage to make it back to that bench. And you do see two people there, already waiting. Danielle in a long trench coat. Her hair's loose. And she is speaking quite low to Amelia, who is rocking and looking all over the place. Every time there's a car, she's looking towards it. But every time she starts looking frantic or starts looking as though she is about to bolt, Danielle just crouches down and just takes her hand and just starts speaking to her. And she seems to ground her in what she's doing. And then you pull up and your lights dim and immediately both of their eyes turn to your car. Danielle watches as you come out of the car. Amelia looks at you and then immediately looks towards the back of your car to see if anyone's in the car with you. And then she rises. But then as she starts getting up, Danielle just places a hand on her shoulder and just guides her back to the seat. And then Danielle starts making an approach to you.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll go to her.
Long time no see.
Certainly feels that way.
You look whole.
Maybe.
She unexpectedly just moves in and hugs you, and the moment she makes contact, she pulls away and... You poor thing.
There's, I think there might be a little bit too much to say.
You're here for Amelia. And she turns around and leads you straight back over towards the bench. So what do we do now?
Is that Amelia saying that?
Man, I'm offended you can't tell the difference.
Sorry. It's been a very trying
That's
night.
it, I quit. I'm gone. Bitch, you're in.
It's been a very trying night. I'm sometimes not sure who I am, let alone who everyone else is, so, you've got to give me some leeway.
I will accept that as an excuse.
And then the werewolves came.
Is that your story or mine?
There's so many things to say, but oh, I don't know. Did you find somewhere?
I've kind of been on the move.
That's fine. That's fine. Probably being on the move is a good thing. Danielle, are you staying for a while around? I mean, with Amelia.
I'm staying with Amelia. Yes.
Good. You should both be very careful. Things are bad here in London, very bad, and that they don't know about either of you really. And I'll try and keep it that way, but I don't even know where to start. You both know Edmund well.
Amelia flinches. Danielle, just without looking, just strokes her hair. And every time she makes contact with her, there's a slight flinch, almost as though she's picking up on the discomfort that she's feeling, but she continues to.
He isn't himself. Really isn't himself. And I just thought he was in shock from the gallery. And I thought I could help him, but I can't. I don't know. He's doing things I don't understand and things that don't make sense, and is involved with people I don't understand how he can be involved with them. And I don't know what to do.
I think you'd find pretty biased responses Benjamin, I don't really know how we can.
Do you have a way to contact our Primogen? Danielle?
I mean, I do.
I need to speak with him. He's a friend of Edmund's. He might be able to help where I can't.
Well, I have a means to contact him. Whether or not he'll answer is another thing entirely.
If you could try and put us in touch, I think
I mean,
he's
the means I have of contacting him is not immediate.
all right. Well, whenever you can. He's
It's a Dropbox letter. I can't guarantee when he's going to pick
oh,
it.
all right. He's forgotten who he is, and even people he cares about, it doesn't matter anymore. There has to be a way to help him. I don't know what it is, but he's got different friends now, and they're not good friends. And I don't want.
Are they?
Sorry, what?
It's just a thought that crosses your mind.
Oh, I'm so confused about everything. Oh. Did you, when you worked for Edmund, ever know anyone called Simon Wintle?
Who are you asking?
Both of them, effectively. I'll probably look at Danielle more.
I mean, I heard the name mentioned once, but I've never met.
Oh, right. I'll glance at Amelia and see if she shows any recognition. Oh,
I mean, I assumed it was a middle name.
I don't...
Simon... I thought that was your name.
What? No.
Well, when I met you, then you told me that you were Benjamin, and I assumed I just got it wrong.
You thought I was Simon?
Well, I've heard him calling you Simon before. I just assumed it was a middle name, or I don't know.
When was that?
I can't remember. I mean, did I?
Right. Listen. They're not here now. I know they're not here now, but there are people who might be watching sometimes. They're Nosferatu. So you have to be careful because they can... Sometimes I can't see them. And so we have to be careful. They don't know you exist, and I want to keep it that way.
Well, I can't guarantee that with the Nosferatu. They know.
I know. I just mean be careful, and I will be as careful as I can. But if you are in any doubt, if ever I come to meet you, both of you, at any time, and you think there might be someone you can't be sure, just play it safe. Don't meet me. Do you understand? I can't bear it if something happened to either of you. I can't.
They both get up. One after... Well, there's a reluctance in Amelia, but she seems inspired by the plight that you're having. And they both embrace you. There is a rigid, rough quality to how Amelia does it. Danielle seems a lot more almost maternal in how she kind of cradles your head. But they're both there, and it's reassuring, and it feels good given everything that's just happened.
Oh, I think Benjamin will start off being kind of British, and then he's just gonna break. He's just gonna weep like a child.
The moment that you start weeping, Danielle kind of turns your head into her and just presses it, and then does a quick, as she taps you on the back of the head, just looks You make sure there's no one around. Amelia is shaking against you, but she doesn't say anything. She doesn't pull away, she doesn't move. But they let you vent for as long as it takes. And then finally, when you are more stable, Danielle puts a bit of distance between you.
Yeah.
And then tucks her coat in from where there's the bloodstained ears.
Oh.
And then reaches up, turns towards Amelia, holds out a thumb, and Amelia just kind of looks at her for a moment and then licks the thumb, and she starts rubbing off the side of your face.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, thank you. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve your kindness.
I don't think any of us do. The fact we're still here means we have all done things that we're not happy about.
Oh. Oh. If you could put Mr. Colbert in touch with me, I'd appreciate that.
I can send out a message, but I can't guarantee that there'll be a response. Especially now with everything going on.
I don't know. I think he's one of the only people that might be able to reach Edmund now. He really respects Mr. Colbert, and perhaps.
Bzzzt.
I'll check my phone.
It's a phone call. Bzzzt.
I'll answer it. Hello?
Mr. Green,
Yes?
I hear you've been looking for me.
Yes, I have.
Both of them just kind of look at each other and then look at you. Well, it's quite unprecedented, but colour me curious. What can I do for you, darling?
I think it's one of those things best not handled over the phone. But
I
I
see.
very much like to speak with you about a mutual acquaintance. And it's rather urgent, I think.
We have many mutual acquaintances, darling. Be more specific.
It's the one that you wanted me to send my regards to. He wasn't really in a state to receive them.
You're going to have to come to me to discuss this. I'm afraid I can't tear myself away from
No,
what I'm doing.
that's fine. I'll come wherever you want. I don't mind.
Excellent. I have an address. I'm going to text it over to you. You will memorize it and then delete it. Is that understood?
Yes, it's understood.
Fantastic. She hangs up. Would you like to be on the receiving end?
Yeah.
And as promised, after a couple of minutes, bzzzt, it is an address very close to Hyde Park.
Okay. All right. I will make a real effort to memorize this address.
Okay.
A super effort.
Okay. Concentrated effort.
Concentrated effort.
Both of them are still just kind of looking at you.
Oh, after a moment, I'll say, I think I found someone else who might be able to help. But I know that neither of you would anyway, but just don't. If you see Edmund, run. And if you think I'm being followed or someone's with me, run. And there's one other thing. I'll look at Amelia. Do you like cats?
I've never owned one.
Because I've come into the possession of a cat, and whilst
They look at each other again.
I'm very happy to look after the cat, I'm just concerned that, well, some of these people that I'm worried about have a tendency to murder animals they find.
They look past you towards your car, where Fagin is walking across the dashboard back and forth, just going. It might be good for you.
Yes, I have to admit I found him very calming.
Okay.
Right, wonderful. I'll get him now. So I'll scurry over to the car. I'll open the car and collect the cat.
And indignantly, it continues to meow at you as you
say,
reach through and pick
I'll say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fagin. And I'll gather the bags and then make my way back over to them. I'll say, he's very hungry. I'm afraid I have given him a little food, but he's been a little bit neglected.
Danielle just goes and takes the bag while she tries to wrestle with a restless Fagin who is just.
It's good to see you again, Danielle. I'm glad that you are all right.
Likewise.
And I'll look at Amelia. I'll say, do take care. I'll be in touch soon.
Okay. You too. Takes the cat. Any last things you want to do before you?
Yeah. So the last thing I'll do is have a last look at the address. Once I'm in the car and the windows shut, I might be kind of repeating it verbally, and then I'll delete the address from my phone. Because if there's one thing Benjamin's good at doing, it's following instructions. And then I will obviously make my way to the address in Hyde Park.
Okay. Meanwhile, you gun the engine of your bike, trying to tear off after this car, which is speeding away. There is no regard for speed limits. There is no regard for anybody crossing the road. The car is just going full pelt. And it's getting smaller and smaller in the distance as you speed to catch up.
Well, I speak to Katia.
Katia.
Okay. Not Katia.
So you race over to try and find Katia.
Yeah.
Katia is ascending out of the manhole where you left her, carrying the bits and pieces that you left her
Laptop
with.
volume and stuff, yeah.
Yep. Oh, what's going on? Where are the others?
Stalking Michael Chase's car.
Oh, this is going to go fantastically. And she hands you over the...
Yeah, things in the backpack. Hand her the backpack and just put on the helmet. Jump.
Okay. She gets on very...
Actually, be very, very careful with my guitar. Because if I have it on, she cannot ride behind me.
Moses, just give me your damn guitar. And she puts it on.
And she's going to hear some metallic clinking.
Whatever. And just grabs you by the waist. So now, I'm going to go between the two. So I need Dex plus Drive to catch up.
Oh. Dex plus Drive.
Can you move me over to Moses, please?
I'm sorry.
And Katia.
No, just Moses.
Oh. And Katia.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh, your glasses.
The glasses came off in your eagerness to hurt people. I'm just going to... There we go.
2 successes.
As you begin weaving in and out, the fact that you stopped for Katia and took the time to take off the guitar case, it makes it exceedingly difficult for you to catch up.
Oh yeah, yeah. But if any of them drop, at least I will run into them.
So you are making your way down, but it is getting increasingly hard for you to keep them in eyesight whilst weaving in and out of traffic. Not only because you are having to gain ground, you are having to break speed limits, and you're trying to do it in a way that's not going to draw more attention than this is already drawing. Because a lot of people that were hiding inside their houses or sleeping or whatever are now looking out because of the explosion that's just rocked the street. But you begin weaving in and out, and the additional weight of Katia on the back of the bike is meaning that you're having to compensate. All of this together just means that you're gaining less ground than you planned for. Meanwhile, on the back of the car, both you and Alicia are gripping as tightly as you can with the claws, all of which have punctured through the boot as the car is speeding up, and your bodies are coming away from the rear of the boot, and you start slowly beginning to crawl your way up. So I need a strength plus brawl. Add the +2 for... No, what's the climbing bonus for the claws? I swear there is one, or am I thinking earlier?
I think on the new rules
Is
it's
it
not
+2?
good, but it will be I would say at least a 1, at least, if you're going to climb.
If it's not in the rules, then I will just say that the fact that you're allowing to... I'll probably give it a +1. If
You
it's
got a
not in the
+1.
rules. Does it give you a plus?
No, it wouldn't be on the power itself. It would tell you on the rules of climbing and stuff. I will look for it.
You look for it while we're going. For now, assume no bonus, just purely because if it's not mentioned in the actual discipline power, like it was in the previous editions, I'm going to assume it's not there. Yep. Wow.
4.
Okay. Oh. That's a messy critical. Okay.
I don't think we're going to get
As you are crawling up, you have to readjust yourself by jamming your claws into the side of the vehicle. As Alicia, in her fury to get at them, puts her claws so far into the boot, and when she pulls it, the boot comes away bodily, and she launches it behind her, creating a space which allows her to then duck inside, not into the car, but gain purchase and have her feet down. And as she grips to try and steady herself, her other claws come away, and she drives it through the back window, causing it to shatter and spill out glass everywhere. The individual who is in the back seat, a certain familiar individual, stops and turns and looks around as she comes in, his eyes flashing yellow and his fangs extended. And as she sees him, she just goes, and then draws back her fists again. So, I need one more check from you to bring you into close combat range, effectively.
Roll.
Nice.
That's a 5. 5?
That's
6.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
Oh, there's another hidden one. Okay. So was he like dragging his legs, or his boots?
No,
Well-
if he'd failed any of the checks or got less successes than he needed to, then he'd be hitting the
ground.
and
Okay.
be
So
taken
he's
down.
still like.
Oh no, he's managed to pull himself up into,
Cool.
so he's now in close combat range with the one through the window. However, you will be start taking penalties because you've got that much window to strike through. But we will get to that in a moment. I need another check from you, Moses. The drive plus dexterity.
2 more.
Okay. 6.
Yeah.
The car is rapidly accelerating away, and you see it turn a corner far before you get close to it. You get the feeling that if you do not catch up within the next few seconds, or at least make eye contact with it, or get it into your line of sight, you are about to lose them.
Mm-hmm. Can I help myself with knowledge of the streets, like where to cut them?
I'll let you make a check. If you get high enough, then I'll give you a bonus on your next check.
Okay.
However, if you fail, then I'll give you a penalty on the next
Yeah,
check.
of course.
Get your check.
It'll be
It's going to be wits plus streetwise because you were thinking on your feet.
okay.
1 to make.
3 successes.
Okay. You can think off the top of your head there is a way that could allow you to cut through. You're not certain whether or not they're going that way, but in the split second you think that's probably your best route. So you'll get
I'm
plus
thinking
1
it.
on your next check.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll roll that in a second.
Yeah.
As you come up alongside Alicia and she brings back her fist, Michael Chase immediately slides back into the passenger seat, bringing himself out of range, and then draws out what looks to be quite a lengthy silver weapon. Looks to be a short sword. And then he just turns it over in his hands, and his eyes flash, and then he just holds it out almost invitingly. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and get through this window because
Okay, so whilst he's driving, we're going to say Dex plus athletics, and you will come under attack as you are doing this because you will bring yourself into range.
3.
3. Okay, so make a Dex plus athletics roll with a -2 because you are crawling through a very narrow space.
Would my rapid reflexes counter that?
Which does remind me.
the thing that lets you dodge bullets, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Rapid reflex.
And you
no,
can take free. You can take
free,
a free minor action.
like up to
Yeah.
2 die penalty actions without penalty and things like that. Like reloading a gun.
Yeah.
I'll say you managed to slip in, so you won't take a penalty to it. So you do manage to skim inside just before he brings it around.
Yeah, basically that's. what it
However,
does.
you will still take a -1 penalty because you are stuck in a car. So everyone involved in this is going to take a -1 penalty. Probably would be a larger penalty, but off the top of my head, I'll just say -1 for that. Okay.
Oh, but because of the confined space. Oh my god! Fuck's sake, Jim. I just saw the roll.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
This is gonna hurt. I'm glad I still got followed up.
Yes, it will.
Shit. Oh, and I can see what's gonna happen after this.
Okay. Okay. 9 points of superficial damage. -2.
2.
So 7. And then, yep, so up to 4. So as you slink in and you bring your claws back, he drives forward with more speed than you can follow with your eye, and the weapon goes straight through your neck, going through the rear, and almost the same place where your neck was broken. And as he has it in there, he hisses at you and draws it out, and then looks over towards Amelia, and then brings his Alicia, and then brings his weapon back around.
Well, I am impaired and with back up to 4 aggravated damage. Oh shit.
You are fighting an elder.
Yeah, heal
So,
and then do something.
I'm gonna need a heal.
yeah, it's your turn now.
I will heal.
Alicia then will be coming in and engaging.
I'm at hunger 4.
This is going to end so well.
Did you honestly think this was going to be easy?
No.
Nope.
Me?
No, I mean in general.
Oh
Alright,
no. That's why I went to look for Katia. And now I'm trying to find them, but if I cannot find them, the
Yeah,
only
after
thing
these
I can
attacks
do-
you're going to
I'm gonna try and grapple him.
Okay, it's still going to be with a -1.
Yep.
And this will be 2-way. And since he's still got his weapon to hand, it's still being used because it's between you and him. So, nope.
You're rolling with a penalty?
Yeah.
As with a penalty.
But just 1 die, right?
Yep. Because I have a speciality with grappling. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, I was making sure that you
I
counted
I
everything.
think he's debating willpower. No?
Is that what you're going with?
Is that your final answer?
Okay.
Is that the way you reach torpor?
7. +3 from the weapon.
10.
So what you get 2?
Got 2.
Okay, so it's not going to be, so it'll drop down to 5, sorry. Then it's going to go up because you had the 2.
Yep.
Then it's going to go up to 8, half down to 4. No, 7.
So
See, if the total is 8 minus 2 from 42 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's the.
so 3.
Yes.
So you are up to 7 aggravated.
I am at 6 aggravated.
Oh yeah, because you just healed. Yeah,
Yeah.
How much-
6 aggravated.
How much do you have left?
6 aggravated.
He
and
still
I
has
have
3.
3 superficial. So I am impaired again.
Okay. Keep in mind that impaired means -2 on your checks.
Which means.
Yeah, but the good thing is that you have exhausted many of his multiple actions, so he will have a harder time.
Multiple actions?
No, I mean he's been 2-way all the time, but now Alicia's coming into the fray.
Oh yeah.
So now everybody has a -2.
So she is going to start taking some penalties because he has effectively acted multiple times this turn. And you hear, even as you take these blows in with this weapon, which seems serrated by design at key points, so that as he drives it through you and pulls it back, the flesh, the wound, is being stretched wider and wider each time he does it, and he's moving so fucking quick that you cannot follow him. And just as he brings his weapon back, there is the sound of breaking glass and a soft thump next to you as Alicia comes through the window. And then she reaches round both sides of the chair with both of her claws to come round at once. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna willpower that. Ooh, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes on Alicia.
Okay. The only good thing is that Michael Chase is already injured, and she's going with the claws that are not halved.
Yeah.
So damage from claws, boys, doesn't
Okay.
go aggravated.
He had 4. She had 9.
So that's 5 margin of successes,
5
4
plus 2.
6 superficial, not halved.
Yep. So it's going to go to 7 points of damage.
No, it's 5. So she
Yeah.
has a 4 margin of success. That's the damage.
Yeah. Plus 2. So the 6.
That's 6.
Yeah.
6
So,
superficial, not halved. So if it goes in overflow, it's just like
so how many? Sorry, I've completely
6 superficials, not half. That's the total. 6 superficial.
Ouch. She wrenches round and her claws go as he's reaching forward with you and brings it back. Her claws go straight in either side of his torso and yank him onto the full body up against the chair. And his eyes go wide as he is dragged straight in. And she brings him close, hisses and snarls in his face, draws out her claws, and then tries to drive it through the chair into him. But that'll be in a moment. So, I need another check from you
And I'm rousing.
with a +1.
And I'm rousing for this one because it has the +1, so it's slightly larger dice pool.
Nice.
Ooh, that's 4 successes.
4. Okay. So now, as you go around the corner,
Like Katia's going like, "Where are you going? I'm taking a shortcut."
as you veer off, and she grips you tightly as you cut off and go off-road down an alleyway, cut narrowly past the bin and tear out onto the other side. You've managed to cut a decent distance off, and you can see through the back window now as there is a flurry of movement. There is a grunt
There's
of
people
pain.
killing each other. I go hungry with the rouse.
Okay.
There's people killing each other inside the car.
So we go now to establish close combat, which is all 3 of us. And with Dex plus Wit, it's going to be Michael Chase first.
Ouch.
So I apologise, guys, if this is a cluster, bit of a mess in combat. We're still getting used to the way they do initiative in this one. Sorry. So he's going to go first. It's not you, don't worry. It's going against the person that's just put multiple claws through his body.
You still have a chance, Jim. Redeem yourself.
Okay, this is going to be a 2-way. Okay. So as she drags him forwards into it and brings her claws back to drive through, she leaves herself open as he swings around with the side of the knife, and it embeds itself in the low part of her neck. She hisses and pulls back as he deals 5 minus.
Whatever fortitude she has, then half.
Yeah, so she takes 1. It embeds itself, but
No, with fortitude
whether
3,
it's
it's
because of her, the nature of her blood, it only embeds itself a few inches, and as he hisses back at her, she just smiles through it, sticks out her tongue in a kind of reptilian way.
I knew
and
it.
then
I knew it.
brings-
I knew it. I've always known it. Sorry.
Oh. And then brings back the claws again to go in, but before she'll strike. Do you want to go?
I will attempt to heal, and I will not go hungry with that one. So,
You're no longer impaired.
no longer impaired.
Finish him. Humanity.
And I'm going to go,
No, don't humanity. Just kill him.
just fucking die! And I will rouse for this because fuck it, I'm just.
Okay, this will be 2-way. We'll take -1, however.
Ooh, that's not bad.
5 successes.
5.
And I am at hunger 5.
Oh my god.
5 successes. So it's tied. So, you will deal 3 points of damage, unhalved. He will deal 4 points of damage, -1 down to 3.
No, -2.
-2. So, rounds back up to 2.
Yeah, you are impaired again.
So the weapon is not halved, is it?
The weapon is already halved,
The weapon
Yeah, the weapon.
but the weapon itself is +3.
Okay.
So it was
So you end up with 2.
1 margin of the success,
Mhm.
+3 up to 4, -2 down to 2,
half.
down to 1.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean 40 to 2 is super good for those hits.
and then you did 3. Okay. So as you say this and you lunge in, your claws come around just as he brings up the knife and cuts into your arm. However, cutting past the arm, allowing the blade to slide over your side, you embed it in the side of his neck, and as he goes, turns around to you and brings the weapon up, trying to drive it into you, into that area where he got in your neck, with the full intention of beheading you. Which is the nature of the next attack, which will be coming your way. Alicia's go. She kind of needs to make this, because unless you're lucky in your next roll, I don't think you've got a lot of health left. So with that end, she is going to rouse. And spend willpower. Okay. And the rouse dice for her. Okay. +2. The moment that you hiss and he turns and snarls at you, Alicia joins the fray with her own guttural hiss that is lower and more spine-chilling than anything you've ever heard. And completing the task that she set out before, she drives her fists through the fabric of the seat, up to her elbows, and you just see coming through his back both of her hands as he...
Fuck with us, you bastard.
And his eyes just flutter and he just stops moving. And as he slumps, the driver, who's looking around this entire time, not trying to get involved, as he's concentrating on the roll, goes, "Fuck!"
I'm gonna turn and try and sink my fangs into him.
Oh yeah, you're at hunger 5.
I'm 105. I am desperate.
Okay, so you do realise that he's the one controlling this high-speeding car, right?
Jim is starving. He is
Okay.
pissed off and he is hurting.
There is no check
Bad.
needed. He is not going anywhere. He's trying to control a car. Okay, are you killing him? Are you going to try and stop, or are you going to drain him?
If you're at hunger
Do you have
5,
to make a
you do
willpower
check.
When you have to make a willpower check, when he immediately tastes blood or
Yeah,
something.
but what's his intended amount is what I'm trying to get.
I would try just to go for 2.
Okay, so willpower check. You are on.
Yeah.
No.
Add your humanity. Add your humanity.
That is with the.
He's
Oh.
been spending all his willpower on this fight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
Fuck's sake, you.
I mean, chat, if you've got that Jake Palm now, it's a good time.
Come on, I'm waiting. Where's the J palm?
We're watching.
We're not continuing until we get some J palms.
Oh yeah. Just scroll up like that. Okay. They've actually been.
There we go.
caring
Thank
about
you.
it.
Thank you.
There we go.
So
Oh, yeah.
you do not manage to stop yourself.
As I thought.
The taste of blood mixed with not adrenaline, but the euphoric kill that you've just experienced. Well, kill. The mixed with your own injuries means that you drain this fucker dry. Now, since you are feeding I'm going to give you a -2. I need a stamina plus athletics roll from you.
From the crash?
Yeah. You are about to nosedive.
Your protein 1. Wet of the feather.
Yeah,
Hey.
can I try and reflex?
No, you were in frenzy. You're draining him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is gonna hurt.
That's willpower.
Are you impaired?
That is full willpower now.
So you are fully impaired on both tracks now.
3.
3. Okay. Alicia will take 6 points, halved down to 3. She hates cars for a reason. You will take 5.
Minus her fortitude and stuff.
That is. She
okay, yeah,
she
the 9
completely
minus
failed
the
her
9
roll.
or 10, yeah.
Yeah, she completely failed. What did you get? 3.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, so you are going to take. This is already halved, and no, this is already halved with your. What is it? You're going to take 3 points. 3 points of superficial.
3 points of official?
Yep.
Then my track is entirely aggravated.
Torpor.
The moment that you make contact, the moment you start biting down, Alicia, who is withdrawing her claws from Michael, spins around just as you fly past her vision, and the world goes completely black to you as you just begin feeding. She tries reaching around you to get for the steering wheel, but in your frenzy-induced state, you whack around, you swing around and connect with her. The side of her jaw, sending her backpedaling as she's now out of reach of the steering wheel. And because you take her off balance, she's completely unprepared when the car comes spiraling off the road, goes down a dip, and then nosedives into the end. You, along with the driver, are sent spiraling through the window, sent rolling over the end and pinned underneath the car. Alicia, who is sent straight over, connects with Michael Chase as she goes halfway out of the vehicle. All of her side is wrenched open on the shards of remains of the glass, basically cutting all the way from thigh up to the lower arm. But she still looks stable. You, however, no fuck all. Moses, you watch as the car careens off the edge and vanishes. You hear Katia go, "Fuck's sake, Jim!"
Yeah,
as it vanishes out of sight.
It's like the typical saying, like, Jesus, Maria y Jose. I just slow down to a sensible pace because that car is going nowhere while I do the sign of the cross. I am sensibly driving in that direction because I am a concerned citizen that is going to help the people in that collision. Okay. Oh, just saying. So if Katia and I are the first one to arrive to the scene of the crime because we're the only ones driving in that direction and probably there's nobody else in the street. What's my assessment of the situation?
Okay.
And what time is it?
The time now, you are looking probably about 3 in the morning.
Cool.
So, your assessment of the situation is thus. Alicia is moving, but she is taking, despite the clear damage she's taken, she's moving freely. She's not impaired in any sense or way that you can tell. She is dusting herself off, picking herself up, and looking down at the wound in her side as her claws slowly sink back into... And it's more nauseating look at the claws go back into themselves than it is looking at her split open side. But then as she reaches through the vehicle, she hauls Michael Chase out by the scruff of the neck and just dumps him across the front of the vehicle. He is unmoving, his eyes are open, and his body is riddled with deep holes that go straight through him. Jim is unmoving, similar in aspect to Michael Chase, but he is pinned under the front of the car. He was thrown free as the car went over, and then was against the wall as the car drove and nosedived into him. The driver is very dead. even if he wasn't completely drained, which is the suggestion you're getting from the fact that you cannot smell blood from him. His neck is wrenched at such an angle that you're surprised his head wasn't taken off by the impact. Is bent backwards.
Okay, so no bite marks, and if they're there, I don't care.
Oh no, there are bite marks. He did not lick. He was in frenzy. He wasn't licking anything.
I am gonna take a glass shard or whatever, and like make.
Okay, Dex plus medicine. No, Dex. Yeah.
I am where it's wrenched and broken. I'm just gonna go.
Okay.
I don't care if people say someone came later with a knife. I'm not trying to.
You're just trying to cover up the holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dex plus medicine.
That's Dex. No successes. So I'm. Look at me, I'm Benjamin. Sorry.
Outrage. Outrage, man.
And I actually, what I do, I just try to mess with the marks, and then I ask Alicia, is it done? Looking at Michael Chase.
She goes over to him and... Oi, prick. Yeah, it's done.
He's
Now-
dead?
Right. I'm going to lift the car. You need to get Jim out.
Yes, that's what I was going to suggest.
She's going to rouse for this. Because...
And I'm going to help her take him out.
And spend more willpower. Fuck's sake, Jim. Okay. She starts lifting, and there is a screech of metal as she begins pulling. But as the strain shows on her face, this car just back down. She snarls.
I'm helping her because I'm...
And then as you move forward, you start helping, so she'll get a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to roll again. With the increased hunger dice. Spend the last of her willpower. Okay, no, that's a hell of a lot better. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. So, she begins hauling, and then you feel the tires come free of the mud as she just begins lifting the vehicle. And then the moment that it's in place and she's got it up enough, you grab over, reach over, grab hold of
whatever
Jim,
part of Jim.
haul him back by the scruff of the neck just as she slams it down underneath. And as Michael Chase begins sliding off, she grabs him by the middle section and picks him up, hauls him over the shoulder, and then just starts marching up the hill.
Where are you going?
I don't care, but we need to get away from here. We can drive and figure that out.
Driving what?
I'm taking your bike. She marches up to the top.
The keys.
Okay, so...
It's like, wait. You're taking Jim then? Yep. Sit down on the bike, and I put Jim on the back. So if she wants to take Michael Chase, she's also taking Jim. You're not leaving me here with your child. If you want my bike.
Okay,
Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
This is going to be... Okay, so with a guttural snarl, she grabs hold of Jim, wedges him in between her and Michael Chase, and with one hand gripped on Michael Chase's arms, basically gripping him. It's really, really weird to see three people on this bike. It does not look like it's balanced at all, but she's leaning so far forwards, it looks like something you'd see in a comedic skit.
Like she's sitting, and then on the back, there's like someone.
There's Jim leaning over her, and then there's Michael Chase leaning over him. Her grabbing his arm around the side to anchor them in place, and then she's basically driving one-handed, and she tears off down without your with your bike. I was going to say without your bike. That's even more comedic. Just goes flying in the second crash.
And I approached Katia and go like, I think there's an entrance to the sewer. Where are we? Yeah.
I don't care. Just move.
Yeah. We moved.
Did it work? Have they got him?
Whom? Michael Chase? He was there.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention. There's a crash and sirens, Moses.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I guess.
And she starts heading off with you towards.
Can I have my guitar back?
She slides it off and then hands it back.
And I give her the backpack with the laptops and stuff.
And you begin making your way over towards the manhole cover.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Anywhere that we can hide.
Meanwhile. Where are you heading now? Over towards the meeting point?
Yeah.
Okay. No detours?
No. Well, and she didn't give me a specific time. She just said go there. So unless I'm literally driving past the crossed hands to get there, no, I'm going to go directly there.
You begin making your way over towards Hyde Park, and there is a measure of urgency now. You are straining the speed limit. You know, you're getting as close as you could reasonably get. You're not going over. Yeah. Well. And you begin driving over towards Hyde Park, and you pull up outside quite a nice-looking apartment, or quite a nice-looking house, rather. Sorry. It doesn't look anything like attention-grabbing, but it just looks like identical to every other house there. The only reason that you kind of take notice of it is that one of the curtains moves open, and you see Sabine.
Okay.
She observes you, smiles, and then gestures to the door, and then steps outside.
Okay. I will. You know, I'll be careful not to be observed as best I can tell when I go to the house.
Okay.
But yeah, go and knock on the
Yeah,
door.
Dex plus stealth if you try not to be observed.
Well, basically, before I leave the car, I'm going to use my heightened senses to look, see if there are people coming down the street. Or
All right, say wits plus awareness then, plus all specs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
Yeah, I'm like super
Yes,
senses. and
you
everything.
managed to pick the perfect moment to make your way up towards the stairs.
Cool.
And you step inside, because the moment that you come up, she opens the door and then ushers you inside. And there's a corridor at the end of which is the stairs going up, and there is a series of rooms that run adjacent to where the stairs goes up. And then there's one directly around to the right. She gestures to this one.
Yeah, I'll just go wherever she directs me.
In front of where the fireplace is, with the fire at the back lit, there is a silhouette of a kindred who is bound, bleeding from the eyes, bleeding from the ears, and basically just covered in their own blood. And with this individual bound, she walks around you and just sits down and sees. Well, sit, darling. You're making the place look a mess.
I'll sit. So let me just see if I've got this straight. There is a kindred standing.
They're bound.
They're bound.
Yeah.
And they're bleeding.
Yeah.
Are they? Do they seem awake in any sense?
They're awake. They're kind of like convulsing.
Oh, so they don't seem they don't seem kind of conscious in terms of where they are.
No, it's kind of hard to tell.
Oh.
They're reacting to the stimuli of the fire in that they're twitching and trying to move away from it, but they are not physically moving.
I'll say, I'm very grateful that you agreed to meet me so quickly.
Have you sat down?
Yeah. So, is it possible to not? I've just really. There's been a lot of torture in my evening.
With respect, darling, you've intruded on my evening.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I honestly don't. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't.
I am in the middle of interrogating this member of the Sabbat, so if you could make this quick.
Well, well, actually, this is connected. It's relevant. I mean, it's about the spat. It's relevant.
She reaches down the side of the sofa, moves over towards the Sabbat, and jams a wooden stake into his heart, and he just goes, and then slumps, and then he drops, as though strings have just been cut, and he just drops.
Thank you.
She goes and sits back down.
Can I ask you a question just before we get into this?
You can ask. I can't promise that I'll answer.
That seems fair. Are you Edmund's friend?
No.
Oh. Well, that's a shame. I think he really needs one.
Your sire, darling, is the kind of individual who makes it extremely difficult to count him as an ally. Even in the times where he is genuinely looking out for your best interests.
You know, there was a time not long ago where I would have argued with you about that. I'm not going to do that tonight. Do you remember that we went on an expedition Oh, I'm sorry, I'm probably going to get this muddled up. There's a lot to say. Do you remember there was a photograph of... He's not himself. Sorry, I'm getting this muddled. There was a photograph of some people who were Sabbat.
Yes.
I've met them. I met them a few hours ago, and I met them because Edmund isn't himself, and I
roll intelligence plus resolve.
Okay. Three. You know what? Can I spend points of willpower to buy a round of speech?
You can spend willpower to re-roll 3 dice.
Oh.
Because this doesn't say it's a willpower roll, it just
No.
says it's a dice
I'll
pool
spend
roll.
a point then. I'll spend
Okay.
a point.
Based upon my reading, because I couldn't find anything saying that you can use willpower to buy rounds,
5.
but it does say it's just a normal dice pool, not willpower roll.
Sure, 5.
5 successes. Okay, yep, the words come tumbling out. But it's odd. It's not... Actually, just roll intelligence plus... No, sorry, wits plus composure for me.
Wits plus composure.
Mhm.
Okay. 3.
Okay. It occurs to you that you're finding it quite... Well, not quite easy. It's not thoughts of Edmund which is causing you to hesitate. It's when you're speaking about the people that he's met with.
Okay.
That's what's giving you cause for pause. It's making you stammer as you're trying to bring your words out.
Okay. Edmund sent me, and when I saw them, of course I recognised them from the picture. He knew where they were. He's not himself. He can't remember. He couldn't remember me. But I don't understand it because he remembered them. But he didn't remember you. He didn't remember the coterie. And he killed a man. I mean, his friend. And I know he wouldn't want to do that. I think he needs help, Sabine.
Which friend?
A man. I didn't know him, but his name was Greg. But they obviously knew each other. They were friends. They spoke about family and things.
I think you'd better start from the beginning, darling. It seems like you have a lot of facts to share, but they're all jumbled.
That's exactly how it is.
I want you to start from the beginning.
Because I will. I will. It's not easy for me to do this. It feels...
I would say take your time, darling, but we are rapidly approaching the stage where we need to make our way to our respective havens.
Well...
And I am going to be travelling in the company of one.
All right. Well, after the attack on the gallery, I said that I'd met... I said I had to go and... When I saw you at the flat, that I said I'd been called by him for some business.
Yes, I remember.
And he was in a very strange mood when I met him there, and he was talking like he was going to be going away, and he told me this story about himself and about some of the things that he had done, and very personal things I feel very strange talking about, but
What did he tell you?
Well, he told me about what it was like for him when he first became like this, and how nothing meant anything. And then he told me about something that did mean something to him. It was this, I don't know what, well, it was something like us, but not like us, like nothing I've ever seen before. And he said, oh, it was a long time ago. It was back during wartime, I think. And he said that he'd fought a lot in the war, and destroyed lots of Sabbats, I think he talked about. But there was this one that he didn't want to destroy, and I saw it, and it was,
Describe it.
well, it's actually very hard to describe because
Do your best.
no, I really am. I mean that they were androgynous, and they most of the adjectives don't apply because they both apply at the same time. They were beautiful, but they were also disturbing, and they were sort of partly male and partly female, and they I don't know, I think, well, it's like I said to him, they were, like, in some ways the best of art. They drew you in and they pushed you away and they made you think. And this was obviously, I feel very strange talking about this because it was obviously a big secret, and I didn't realise how much he needs help until now. But he said they'd found out. He said they'd found out, and that they would be coming for him, and that he was going to have to go away. And he said I wasn't going to be able to handle what was coming, and he was right. He was right, Sabine. I'm not able to handle it.
If I ask you to remain here for a moment, can you do that for me?
Yes, of course.
I need to make a call. She stands up and steps from the ring. And she's gone for 5 minutes, then 10. And then finally she returns into the room and just sits. I just need you to wait for a moment longer. I need you to speak to someone for me.
Oh, of course. Do you think you'll be able to help him?
Potentially. Any other information you could share would undoubtedly help.
I think that Plucky Jake will want to know about this too.
Let's not involve the Nosferatu just yet.
All right.
Do you say anything else?
I will say, I'm sorry. I don't know. I probably I was clutching at straws. I thought you were closer to him.
I'll get the door. She steps up and moves out into the hallway. And you hear the door open. And then the door to this room opens. And Sabine walks in. Right this way, Constable. And Jacqueline steps into the room. And she immediately turns and looks at you. And then takes a step towards you. And that is where we're going to end tonight. So, well, in some ways that went better than I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, we all escaped the explosion.
Yeah. So,
Jaffa time.
yeah, Jaffa cakes. So, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. A big, well, it's not quite yet. I've got 30 minutes, but a big happy birthday to my beloved for tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
So, wish her the best in the chat for me, and as far as I'm aware, we should all be back next week, including Rachel. Hopefully, if you feel better, Rach.
Even if it's bank holiday?
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
Easter Monday, but we still come in live.
So, yeah, we'll still be in next week, guys. So hopefully you'll join us there in time for episode 25 and see how this escalates.
This is escalates.
Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.